The monarch butterfly is one of the most iconic and cherished creatures in North America. Its life cycle and migration has enchanted us as children and continue to inspire wonder and awe in people of all ages. It's hard to imagine a world without monarch butterflies, and I hope we never have to. I'm Martha Williams, Director of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and today I'm sharing the plight of the monarch butterfly. I wish it was different, but our beloved monarchs are in trouble and they need our help. Migratory monarchs in North America are declining at a worrisome pace and are projected to continue declining over the next 60 years. Increased threats from climate change, insecticides, and the loss of habitat are negatively impacting monarch survival. Across the country, citizens, farmers, school kids, national conservation organizations, and local communities, as well as state and federal agencies and tribes, are all working together on the Herculean task of saving the monarch. The most important thing for monarchs is native milkweed, their host plant. Milkweed can grow in lots of places. Every patch of milkweed can contribute to rebuilding the monarch population. And flowering plants provide them with energy for their long migration to their wintering grounds. Can you believe something that weighs about the same as a paperclip can travel some 3,000 miles from the northern US to central Mexico? It's incredible that those fragile wings can carry them so far. The eastern population of monarchs has declined about 80%. The western population by more than 90%. So restoring habitat is one of the most important things we can do to help them recover. Planting native milkweed and flowering plants in our yards and gardens, in our community parks and public lands, and along roadsides. All of these are examples of what we can do to give the monarch more habitat. Even plantings in small areas can help reverse the habitat decline because it all adds up. As part of our continuing conservation efforts, we are announcing a proposal to list the monarch butterfly as a threatened species with species-specific protections and flexibilities within the Endangered Species Act. These flexibilities allow us to tailor protections to prevent the further decline of the species and help facilitate recovery, all while enabling continued and important economic activities. The Fish and Wildlife Service is also announcing 4,395 acres of proposed critical habitat for the species at its overwintering grounds in coastal California. This proposed listing invites and builds on unprecedented public participation in shaping monarch conservation efforts, and we welcome your feedback. We'll build on historic voluntary agreements with energy and transportation organizations that have helped conserve millions of acres of monarch habitat along travel and transmission corridors. And it will build on our partnership with the Department of Defense, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Pheasants Forever, Bear Crop Science, and other conservation partners. We must continue to encourage and incentivize participation of landowners, farmers, and ranchers, and to add milkweed and other native flowering plants and implement actions to maintain pollinator habitat. Recovery of a listed species is a marathon, not a sprint. While it can take years to bring protected species back from the brink, it's a race we've won many times, and it's so worth the fight. This proposed listing puts the monarch butterfly on the path to recovery. We've witnessed nature's resiliency when we just give it a chance to recover.
It's got a code on it.
I know that by working together, we can save the monarch butterfly.
Well, there you go. There's one of the ones that I had. This is a good one here. This is how, and I've stated this before on a way America can save the economy, change everything real fast. And This right here is that said example.
Argentina's free market president achieving an economic miracle this year, exposing its failing socialist neighbors, while serving as inspiration for the push to curb government spending right here in the US. The country's monthly inflation rate now sits
Look
at
at that drop.
2.4%. That's down from 25%.
Look at that drop right there, from 25% down to 5% in 9 months. Wow. And he only cut like 3 or 5%. It's that.
When Milei first took office 1 full year ago. Our next guest says it all started by targeting waste and fraud. Heritage Research Fellow and economist E.J. Antoni joins us now. E.J., so great to have you. This is such a fascinating story. So what is the lesson of Argentina? Maybe lay out how he did it, what kind of austerity measures he took, and what's to come.
Well, Rachel, I think the lesson here is it can be done. You know, in less than a year, Milei has cut the monthly inflation rate by over 90%. That's absolutely tremendous. And he did it by cutting excess government spending. He is rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse everywhere throughout the budget. And I think that's one of the key lessons that lawmakers need to pay attention to here in the United States. There can be no sacred cows anymore, whether you're on the left or on the right. We need to be willing to look into things like the Pentagon's budget, to go through defense spending, to go through Social Security and Medicare, et cetera, and find waste, fraud, and abuse wherever it is and root it out. Illegitimate payments are illegitimate payments. It doesn't matter which special interest group is benefiting from them.
EJ, let's not pretend that this has been entirely painless. So bringing down the inflation rate has caused some economic hardship on the people of Argentina, but they're just now starting to see that they're turning the corner on that. So things kind of get worse before they get better.
Well, one of the reasons why it's so easy for politicians to get away with excess government spending is the fact that it's very much like drinking, actually, where the positive effects come first, you get buzzed, and then the hangover doesn't come until the next day. You know, the reason we have such bad inflation today, the reason we have such high prices is because of all the government spending that we've done over the last several years, all those trillions of dollars in, again, mostly waste, fraud, abuse. So it may be painful to start sobering up at first, but that's the path to long run health.
Yeah, no question. People are experiencing some of the withdrawal symptoms from some of the government largesse. So one of the things that's hard about doing this, I mean, first of all, I think the idea of having Doge is going to make it sort of take some of the political pressure off of individual members, right? Because there's now going to be this organization that's going to start to direct where we're going to cut and also start to look at it. Because the hard part is every politician can say, yeah, I want to cut government spending. But when that project gets cut in your district, then that's another matter, right?
Rachel, you're absolutely right. And this is why, to your point, a group like Doge is going to be so incredibly important. You need a third party to present ideas to both the left and the right to, again, illustrate the fact that we can't have any sacred cows anymore, right? We need to be willing to root out, again, waste, fraud, and abuse no matter where it is. And we can't let the special interests run the show anymore. That's what Milei did in his country. And that's how he was able to create the first government surplus in over a decade, and by the way, maintain a trade surplus. That's really important for a nation like Argentina that is suffering from such low levels of foreign exchange.
Yeah, he's attracting a lot of foreign investment because of the moves that he's making. Really fast. I only have a couple seconds here, but a big part of that was cutting government workforce. That, I think, is going to be the biggest challenge for Doge and the Trump administration, correct?
I think that's right, Rachel, but it needs to be done.
Nah, who cares if it needs to be done? We know it needs to be done. Anyhow, what do you guys think so far? Got any other topics you'd like to talk about? I do shitty live streams, by the way. Actually, I'm not eating. I already made 2 cheeseburgers earlier today, and then I also had some SOS for breakfast, so I'm good for the day. Seems like starting an hour earlier is not a good idea. Well, let's see here. There we go. I got myself an early Christmas present. It is a little magnifying thingamajigger. That's the power cord to plug in. This right here is zooms in, zooms out, hold on to the night. See resolution, burst, shooting, image. Oh, you can't see it. I'm doing a shitty job. See, I told you I don't do good live streams. But I got this little sucker here, so I can stick stuff up underneath here. And you get the lights, the extra lights, and then there's a light right here. It's for my jewel work that I'll be doing. And then I got this little fucker here. It's got a little camera right there too. Got a light. Someone chase down. Friends come in my neighborhood. I'm gonna come. What's up, Chad? How you guys doing this evening? Yeah, SOS is always good. I enjoyed it since in the Army, age 17. Everyone's like, oh, SOS tastes like crap. I was like, dude, good, more for me. I always enjoyed SOS. It was easy to make, filling. I mean, and you don't have to use sausage. You could use beef. You could use chicken. You could throw whatever the heck you want in there. What's up, JM Unleashed? Off the hook, JM off the hook. Ooh, that reminds me. I have one more. Actually, I've got more than one. Here we go. Let's pause for a 4-minute commercial. Music commercial. On the car where darkness comes to echo the world behind painted drums, shining everywhere your luster burns. In this cold life your spark returns. Falling dreams in a mental shine, crushing weight in this life of mine. In the fires. Hey, how's it going, Mary? From this earth, JM Unleashed did this music video. Strength to carry through life's cool dust, precious and pure on day we stand, in the arms of the bravest land. Hopes and rage in fiery night,
From the depths into the light, you and I through chaos soar. In your essence, we seek more. Silent power, unbroken soul. Through the toughest heart, its toll. Invisible yet crystal clear. In your shell, there's no fear. Ancient treasure beneath our feet, crushed by time yet pure and sweet, rising through the dark abyss, offering us the purest kiss. Ocean rage in a world of dust, strength to carry through life's cruel gust. Precious and pure, untamed we stand in the arms of the bravest land. Molten rage in a world of dust, strength to carry through life's cruel gust. Precious and pure, untamed we stand in the arms of the bravest land. Molten rage in fiery night, from the depths into the light, you and I through chaos soar. In your essence we seek more. Molten rage in fiery night, from the depths into the light, you and I through chaos soar. In your essence we seek more. Silent power, unbroken soul. Through the toughest heart, its toll. Invisible yet crystal clear. In your shadow, there's no fear. Ancient treasure beneath our feet, crushed by time yet pure and sweet. Rising through the dark abyss, offering us the purest kiss.
Right on. Thank you very much for that one, JM. And I do have another one if people start talking about taxes and tariffs. That shit just drives me crazy. It lets you know, and I'm sorry, but if you're going to talk about stuff, you need to understand what you talk about, because it really does look bad on you if you don't know what you're talking about when people start talking about stuff. And people start talking about tariffs, they don't know what they're talking about. Less than 1,000, Chad, and I'm cutting it. I'm destroying it. No, and actually, I'm making something new with it. I'm making I'm doing new type. I'm creating a new look of gemstone jewelry with it, and I'm trying to get that crap together. And it takes a while. No one's ever done it, so I got to figure it out as I'm going on. It takes a little while, but it's interesting. It's fun. Keeps me stimulated. Keeps my mind stimulated. Oh! You guys got to see this. Hold on, let's see. We have a special guest at the window. Oh, you can't see him. Ginger's just saw Tommy. Oh, Tommy just left. He's going over this other window now. Oh, well. That's why I leave that window open, because every now and then an outside cat will come along and say hello to my babies, and they'll get all excited. But yeah, I know some of you have had to have seen me say over the past 9 months to a year that there's a V-shaped recovery baked in. And the reason why I'm going to show you a little bit about my economic foresight. The reason why I've always said there's a V-shaped recovery baked in, and I said it before Milei did Argentina, because I knew it could be done, but no one's had the balls to do it. Milei comes along and he does a small bit of it. He only cut like 3% of the government too, a small section, and total correction. But anyhow, I saw this as a pathway, a cutting of wasteful, over budgeted stuff and stuff like that as an easy pathway to get back on track with a quickness. And if you saw in the earlier part of the video when I showed the thing about Milei, it took less than 9 months to get from a 25% inflation rate down to 5%. And I've always said there's a V-shaped recovery baked in. And that's why I say it. And now I actually have a chart that I can show people. Hey, what's up, brother?
Good to see you.
If we're going to go ahead and do that, I'll just go ahead and uncover my face too, so you guys can see my ugly mug. It's easier that way. There we go. But yeah, if America, we've got worse pork barrel overspending, over budgeting for stuff than Argentina does. And if Doge is able to cut 5% instead of 3% like Argentina did, and they say we're only at a 5% inflation, just imagine how good the good times are going to be. It took 9 months for Argentina, with all the cuts that Milei did, to go from 25% to 5% inflation. Let the good times roll. Tell you, man, in the next year, it's going to be great. Get your shit together. There's going to be a lot of money to be made. A lot of money to be made. And you can actually make money on the downturn. I'm not exactly sure how to do it. I know I do it. I did it in 2008 because I just see the uptrends on the downward motion. Everything goes down. It has an upturn, and it goes down, up, down, out on its way down. And if you can kind of sort of time those, where it's like a false bottom, shoot up, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. That's how I did it. And I did it. I started out with like $22,000, and at the end of the crash, I had like $28,000 in the stock market. But then that was my annuity. We were able to transfer it daily if need be. Now since then they've changed the rules, and it takes like a week to be able to transfer funds, making it impossible for me to do that. So I can't do it this time.
Yeah. I think everyone's sort of got a threshold for pain. And so you can see that in the investment markets. I know you're a big fan of the Economic Ninja too. And I know he advocates that sort of thing too. You buy when other people are throwing in the towel.
The more I get to know him, the more we are very similar in thought process. And he said it. He said some in one of his chats today, as I was moderating it, about, he said, I want everyone in this chat to be a millionaire. And then he looked at the screen. He said, and some of us are going to be billionaires. And I was like, I put down, that's right, Ninja. That's me. I'm going to be a billionaire because I see it coming. I'm not financially positioned right now, but I am better financially positioned than I was in 2008. And that's a step in the right direction. And my credit's clearer, and my credit score is higher. So I'm in a lot better position, and I have zero debt. So I'm in a lot better position, even though I don't have cash. I'm in a lot better position this time than last time.
Yeah.
And,
I was chatting with a guy the other day. I won't say names or anything, but I think you know him too. But he went off grid, like completely off grid, living in the bushes in very, very rural areas. And there's so many of these prepping channels that talk about how to go off grid, completely. And he said, and this is something to keep in mind, is that going off grid is actually pretty darn easy. He said what's even more difficult than going off grid is coming back on grid and getting back into the system, like going and getting a bank account, going and getting a driver's license, insurance, all this sort of thing, once you've been off the radar for years.
Yeah, it's something has to be done if you want to be a part of the system and take financial advantage of the system as the crash is happening. You kind of sort of got to be in it. So, but there's different types of checking out, not being involved in the system.
Yep. Different
Wonderful.
levels of it too.
Yeah, I just was watching a little short show today. This guy bought a hole. It was a ghost town, and several other people moved. There's like 12 people there, and for like 30 miles, it was in the mountains in here, somewhere in California. And for 30 miles in any direction, there's nothing. And then there's this town of like 12 people of older houses and older barns, and they fixed them up, and it looks nice and stuff like this. But there's very few people, like 12 people that live there. They have, all their own electricity because there's no services. They have their own electricity, their own this, their own that, everything their own. But yet they still have internet through like satellite.
Starlink.
So they can still do like business transactions, and if you can make money that way,
yeah,
you can go off grid as far as you won't have a power bill, a water bill, and stuff like that going to your pad. Anything. You'll probably still have some tax information on the property of where you're living, but your paperwork trail will be greatly reduced, and all you'll probably have is a physical bill for your internet connection, and then you're off grid in a sense. So there's different types of off grid. Then you get off grid where you're totally financially off grid and everything else. You do that, you screw yourself in the long run because you can't take advantage. Because in every crash, you can make money.
Yep. So
if you take yourself out of that, then it's like being a top engineer, say a jet engine engineer, and then you take 2 years off, and then you come back in the field. You don't know shit. You're not nearly as worth as much as you were because it advances every day. And the more you're away from it, the more you're behind.
Yeah.
So by stepping out too much, you can actually hurt yourself if shit doesn't hit the fan. And the odds of it not hitting the fan are a lot greater than it actually hitting the fan, because no politician likes to lose. And in most shit hit the fan scenarios, politicians lose, and they don't like that.
It's true. Are you still planning on moving to the Georgia area?
Say that again?
Are you still planning on moving to Georgia or that?
Alabama, yeah.
Finn was asking there.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see. Yeah,
That's okay. That's why I'm here.
it's the Alabama area. I've got to move to the southern area of Alabama for a couple of different reasons, mostly businesses, and also I got to buy some land in northeastern Alabama, so I'll be going back and forth across that state. But it'll be for business reasons. So I can't do any of that here in California. Not only that, I actually did a video. By the way, here's Ginger for video time. I did a video on how far the dollar goes here in California with state taxes and regulations and whatnot. And $1 got you 88 cents worth of goods and services here in California. If you take that same dollar and you go to Alabama, looking at the same statistics of taxes and regulations, that same dollar gets you $1.12 worth of goods and services. So you actually can gain, if you get a retirement, early retirement or something like that, to where you don't have to work, you can look at your retirement will go 24% further if you got your retirement from California-based retirement scale and you go to California. Your purchasing power is going to be jumped by 24%. Right. And that's the best increase for a fixed income. And although I'm not going to be a fixed income, I do have some businesses I got to start in the Mobile and Pensacola area, and Alabama's got the lowest property tax, 0.02%, and it's got the damn near lowest houses while still being in a metropolitan rural area, to where you can have goods and services relatively close by. And I'd still get a house with a decent amount of land.
Yeah.
Cheap. And I know I'm going to be off the water. I don't want to be near the Gulf because of freaking hurricanes. It'd be nice to be about 50, 60 miles inland, and that puts you into Alabama. I don't want to be in Georgia. I just did a report. If you go back on my channel, look, the thumbnail of the dolphin, the most recent one, is of a video on Georgia and the groundwater being poisoned by a carpet company who's suing 3M for misrepresenting what a chemical they used on their carpets actually did. And the waters in North Georgia, because that's where the factory was for the carpet manufacturer that used the chemical. And I don't recall the name of the chemical, but it's like the DEA says it's like 5 parts per million in water. And some of those rivers up there and streams have like 750 parts per million, not just 5. So it's like, I wouldn't suggest anyone buy up there because housing's going to be crap. You're not going to be able to, you'll be able to buy the houses up there cheap, but you won't be able to sell them unless someone else wants to buy something that you can't drink the water. Yeah, it's bad infected up in that area. Chemical dumping. Unintentional, supposedly. There's a big lawsuit. One of the cities actually in North Georgia is suing, I think, the DA of Georgia over this issue. Not 100% on that one. I don't totally recall the report that I gave. Hey, there you go. JM got it. Thank you, JM.
You're welcome. I was
That's
just
why
trying to see if I could see what the chemical was. If you start putting that sort of thing in the description of the video, then it'll be very, very easy to.
It was MI something or other, MIM, Memoran or something like that.
Okay.
I'm real bad with this. You're a whole hell of a lot better with the YouTube thingy.
We all start somewhere though, right? Like it's been a real learning curve for me too. And it's just a matter of constantly trying to improve constantly. Oh, right on.
Oh, sweet. Finn, what's up, Art? Finn got himself a Platinum Eagle. Right on, brother. You're going to enjoy that, man. Right now, you can get platinum. You can buy an ounce of platinum for 75% of the cost of mining that ounce of platinum. That's like going to a Tesla car dealership and it costs like $40,000. This is round number. Say it costs $50,000 to produce a Tesla, and then they add profit on top of that. And then them saying, "Hey, we'll let you have it for 35."
Yeah,
you'll be like, "Aren't you losing money on that?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, I am, but you can still get it for that." That's what's going on in platinum right now, because it costs $1,200 to pull it out of the ground, and you're going to be able to buy it for $925 plus a little premium. Dude, best time in the world to buy platinum is right now. After this,
silver's looking really tempting again too.
Is it falling as well?
It's still above 30, but just not by much. To me, anything under 30 is a screaming buy in silver.
Yeah, I've said this once. I've said this 1,000 times. Anything under it's just a matter of how much "quote unquote" profit you're going to make once it makes a new all-time high. Yeah. But as long as you buy it under the all-time high and you have time, just wait till it hits its next all-time high and then sell it, and you'll have a profit margin. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. So anything under, but now amount of gain, I'm sure everyone wishes they'd have bought $4 silver 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and then looking at $100 silver price. But anything under the all-time high, even if you buy it at 50 and jumps to 100, hey, you still doubled your money. Yeah. If that's your outlook. If your outlook is to buy and hodl, I'd stop purchasing at the all-time high, the last all-time high, because that'll be about a mean of action up and down of the new market after it goes past its all-time high on an unmanipulated market.
Yeah. I'm kind of kicking myself for not having bought any of the XRP.
It's all going to drop again, bro. It's cycles, man. Don't be upset. Don't cause yourself any gray hairs or anything like that. No. Now, XRP is a little different than other cryptos. And same with XLM, Algo. Those three are a little different. Most cryptos, it's on a 4-year cycle. After June, and then they're going to plateau for another three years, and that's when you buy. And then after that 3 years, they're going to, and you know, so it's just a 3-year cycle of being able to buy. Again, the profit margin won't be as high if you buy XRP at $5 a share over 5 cents a share, but it'll still go up exponentially all the same. So and that's how you can tell where the crypto market is becoming less volatile, because one of the arguments they had during the last halving and having before that is the volatility of the crypto market as an acceptance level, and as long as it's that volatile, it's going to be hard to accept. And they say platinum's volatile. Look at crypto, brah. Platinum is a straight line compared to cryptos.
Well, and rightly so too. With any of this bullion, you're actually buying a physical asset.
Through that,
it's got to be mined out of the ground and minted, and it doesn't matter if the electricity goes out or the internet goes out. You still got it, right? And you can still trade it.
If you get that, whatever sovereign country you're in, if you get their sovereign mint, it's also legal tender, where other silver is not. So there's a dual benefit. And then you have here in America what different states are doing. Like, Texas and Florida, a couple others are making it to where you can pay your taxes in the silver and gold, to where it's really solidifying gold and silver as a monetary system.
The low denominations on these bullion coins, so I think, do a real disservice. In my opinion.
The minted denomination on them has absolutely that's a scale on a whole different level, not even thought of for normal economics and understanding the price put on the coin. Because people don't understand. People like that coin you're showing right there. It's got $100 on it. That's it's 1 ounce of platinum because it's $100. And you throw out the 1 ounce gold coin, it'll be $50. But yet you can buy 3 ounces of platinum for 1 gold piece.
Right.
So who's right? Who's
silver
wrong?
legal at $1. It seems absurd.
It's there's a reason they do that. There's a legal reason why they do that. I don't understand what it is quite yet. I haven't really looked into it. Be quiet.
The key is that they're consistent. They don't keep switching it and swapping it around. Like the platinum's always 100, gold's always 50. My understanding is one of the advantages, and this is not tax advice or advice of any kind, this is just information I heard, is like, let's say you take 10 gold eagles across the border, you jump on the plane and say you go to Europe or Central America or whatever, when they ask you, how much money are you carrying? Well, with the 10 gold eagles, you could say $500 for those.
No. David, no, who was? It wasn't David Morgan. It was Andy Schectman did this. He did it from Canada to America. He had the $50 gold coin, and he had a couple hundred of them. It was more cash value than you could travel with, but because the dollar denominated amount is 50 for each coin, you couldn't do it was like $1,800 coin back then for an ounce of gold. Customs wanted to say, hey, no, that's $1,800, and he was like, no, it's 50. And they held him back. They held him back, and they checked their laws. They're like, you're right, legal tender. That 1 ounce gold coin we only recognize as $50. You can travel with that across the border from country to country, and 1 ounce of gold in a sovereign mint is valued at like that platinum coin. It's valued at $100. The gold coin is valued at $50. So when they say you can't take more than $2,000 across the country lines, that means you can take 100 or 40 gold ounces. Because the denominated amount is $50, so 50 times 40 is 2,000.
Yeah. So if the question is, what's the total value of currency that you're taking?
Well, that's it. Changes from country.
And that's a different question.
That's why we have different gold prices in different countries, because they're different sovereign currencies value at a different economic rate to what I guess the international standard of the American rate is. Like if you look at a kilo of silver in Australia is like $1,700. Their money.
Yeah.
Ours is like 12 something, So their economy is this is where arbitrage is going to start coming back in big time, because people are going back to countries are going back to their own money systems and solidifying and making solid their economic base for a monetary system, and that's where arbitrage comes back in. You'll be able to make money off of buying and selling money, called arbitrage.
Bond traders have been doing that for years. Bond and foreign exchange traders.
Yep. And that's how, see, this is how you know there's not going to be a CDBC. That explains it right there. Because if every country is going back to its own sovereignty and solidifying its own economy, why the hell would they do a CDBC? They're not ready for it. Not yet. Because they're just going back to solidify. Every country's doing it, solidifying their own country. None of their countries is tokenized. None of this crap is anything like that. They're not ready for it. The world is not ready for a CDBC. It's not even close to time. It's next decade off before we're even close to time to push that. But anyhow,
to me, they've already got it. Like when you go to your bank,
credit card is a CDBC.
Yeah, debit.
Yeah, no, I see your
money
point.
Order.
Yeah, yeah. It depends on your view of what a CDBC is, because the government definitely regulates all of that. So,
super chat.
That in a Fed coin,
Nothing. It's just, I think that them talking about and practically trying to roll out the new central bank digital currencies. It's just another token in the shell shuffle, in their shell shuffle game.
I didn't even see Jay's.
You're
right. See, now that's how you transfer wealth across state country lines right there. You take 99 pieces of platinum, it's only valued at less than $10,000.
Right.
But yet when you get to where you're at, you got $1 million worth of value. You buy your house, you buy everything you need, and you live comfortable with 40 ounces of platinum left over. Or as the government values it, $4,000.
It'd be 99 grand. It would be 99 grand. Not quite a million.
What, 90? Yeah, you're right. No, face value of 99 at 100 each. You put 2 zeros on. No, he's right. Because 100 of them would be $10,000 face. Or not face. Yeah, the face value would be 10,000. That would be the legal tender amount that they valued it at. So you'd be able to, if they stop you from carrying more than $5,000 over country lines, you could take 49 Platinum Eagles. And that's $4,900 on the coin value that they value it at.
I think so too, Finn.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly, if the government can, what do you call it? Is it subpoena or otherwise request? Like they did that here in Canada. They were shutting Canadians' bank accounts down.
Yeah, they were.
That sent a PayPal donation, even in the amount of $10, to the Freedom
Truckers.
Yeah, the Freedom Rally. They shut them right, like basically debanked them. Hey, Gerald, good to see you. Yeah, so about 92 grand.
With you guys, what kind of government you guys got up there? It's radical.
It's Trudeau. He's got to be the worst prime minister we've ever had, and the most communist.
That's why I laughed when Trump shook his hand and said, "You're getting $100 billion a year off of us, off taxes and tariffs. If you can't keep your country straight, maybe we'll make you a governor."
Yeah.
I loved when he said that. Trudeau was like, "Oh." Don't take my country away from me, Mr. Trump. I think
need
Alberta
some-
already voted for that.
Oh yeah.
I'd take
Alberta is
Alberta.
very, very nicely aligned with American values.
I would definitely take them as a 51st state. That's a good location.
Yep. I think most Americans would get along just fine in Alberta, other than the cold.
Yeah,
Cold.
well, most
There's
people
lots of
that
cold.
live up-
There's
most
lots of
people-
cold states too.
And most of the people up in cold states go south too. They're called snowbirds.
Yeah.
As soon as you don't have to live there year round, you go down south for the winter.
Hey, James.
What's up, James and Gerald again? Yeah, I mean, it would benefit both countries financially if they just united. It'd be a powerhouse, an economic powerhouse, total economic powerhouse.
Yep. But I'll tell you what, though.
Centuries
Under-
from here. What's up, Steve? Thank you for stopping by, man. You didn't have to leave your live stream, bro.
Hey, Steve Harloha in the house
Yeah, he's our Hawaiian connection.
from the beautiful state of Hawaii.
Oh, Oahu.
Yeah.
I was there for 3 weeks in December 2019. Someone was saying they were whale watching in on a 40-foot catamaran. I had the boys who owned the Union Hall took me out on their 38-foot bayliner, and we were whale watching. A lot smaller a boat. Luckily, we didn't find any. I'm not a big fan of being around things in the water that are bigger than the boat that I'm on.
Hey, Neil. Steve would actually be a good guy to give a wrench to, in my opinion.
Of course he would be. Thank you for bringing that to my attention that he doesn't have it. He should already have it.
Here's his channel link for anyone that's not subscribed to Steve Harloha. He is a very, very strong American patriot and just a great, great guy for building a community. Lots of laughs, and he's being very generous helping out the homeless people in Hawaii to get back up on their feet.
Tell you what, there's so many ways they could take it. I don't live there. I ain't gonna say nothing. It's all government. I'll say that. It's all the government. They got.
Well,
the
I heard that a ton of homeless people from the larger cities in mainland America were offered. They were homeless, like in these encampments, and
trip
they were
to Hawaii.
offered. They said, "Look, we will give you a flight to Hawaii. Would you like to go to Hawaii? How would you like that?" And they were signing up for it, but they dumped them off in these desolate areas. Basically just dumped them with nothing, and that's how they were clearing out a lot of the homeless from some of the mainland states.
Uh-huh.
I don't know
Yeah.
how long ago that was, but I think it was in the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. That's if you think about it, you'll have an epiphany moment as soon as I tell you this. If you knew about it ahead of time.
Yep.
This place called the Ninth Ward that we all heard about after Katrina, because it got wiped out. Well, the Ninth Ward is where Jefferson Parish is the county, but they call them parishes in Louisiana, that runs New Orleans. It is one of the most, if not the most corrupt area of this nation. And they shoved in so many Section 8s into Ninth Ward. They were making a lot of money from the federal government, but they had an illegal number of people in there, so it was a high crime area. And when Katrina came around, all of those people couldn't go back to the Ninth Ward. So what happened to them, and no one talks about this either, is the exact same thing you just said. New Orleans shipped them out to different states. And what state do you want to go to? How do I know this? 5 of them are living down the road. They're from New Orleans. They live in the Ninth Ward. After Katrina, they moved out here because they found out the social services were better. They pay more for Section 8, food stamps, all this stuff. So they shipped most of their lower income to California.
Huh.
It's
Social-
been going on for a while.
Social arbitrage.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
That's pretty much. It goes on more than you think. Again, just like, and that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I wanted to put into everyone's mind. Okay, these drone things. Okay, but cool, whatever. You think of them, whatever. Here's the point. They are already pushing for states to have more control because of this incident. Don't let them do it. Because once they have control, they never give it up. And
Because
what
of
they're looking
what
for,
incident?
well, it's a cost thing because a lot of these drones have FAA lighting on them.
Oh, the drone thing. Okay.
Yeah, the drone thing. I mean, not all of them, granted, but a lot of them have the FAA lighting, green light, red light, flying,
Yep.
big, scary, oh my God, big drone. Not all of them. A lot of them are drones. And they're wanting these new federal powers to be passed down to the states now because of this, when they know they're not a threat and they shouldn't get these extra powers that they're asking for. So be
Right.
careful about that. If your state's asking for extra powers right now because of this drone thing, because what the government does is they'll say you're going down, you're walking down the road, the government comes along, they'll dig a ditch in front of you. And then they'll say, hey, look up, so that you fall in the ditch. And then they'll come along and say, hey, I'm from the government, I'm here to help.
Right.
Okay. They cause problems to make you need them.
Yep.
And I think, hold on, let me just rephrase that. I don't think. I see a pathway for that type of scenario to be going on with this quote unquote drone thing, just as more power grab for the states for the taking of whatever civil rights and liberties could be taken, or new spying by the state on civilians for drone use that the state's now going to have that they don't have the power to do.
Yep.
So be careful. The states are going for power grabs, in my opinion. That's what's happening.
They call that Hegelian dialectic. Right.
I'm not big on those big words, but I do know what I see when I see it, and I see that happening because it's blatantly not a threat. The government said it's not a threat, and I heard the governor of New Jersey come out today and say he wants special federal powers.
Yeah. It means cause a problem so
Yeah.
that you can institute your pre-made solution to the problem
To
and
the
have
people.
all the people beg for
For
you to
that
come in and
solution.
help solve the problem. And bada bing, the solution is already prepackaged and ready to go to their advantage.
See, now this, I believe, if there's conspiracies out there, I believe this one most of all. What I also believe could be is we do know there's no less than 300,000 insurgents from foreign nations in this country. Why wouldn't they be around that area? And this could be mapping of the houses that they know they're at. That could be as well in preparation for a large roundup.
Yep. Could be monitoring them via their cell phones.
It might be coming up time,
Yep.
January 20th, to round them up. So they need to know where they're going, where they're coming from, where they're at. They're storing 300,000 plus insurgents that are known insurgents somewhere in this country.
Yeah.
And logically, if you think about it and you accept that there's that number in this country, then you got to think, okay, well, would they stay far away from where they're wanting to do whatever their mission is, or would they want to stay close to wherever it is their mission is, whatever their mission is? So if their mission is to stay out in the rural areas and hit rural targets, I imagine they'd be out there. But I imagine if they wanted to hit certain cities, they would probably gather in those cities. Mm-hmm. So I could see a scenario or a pathway for the government wanting to fulfill its role of following the laws and picking up the people that they know came through. Because I actually know for a fact a couple things that blow me away that no one talks about. This happened 5 or 6 years ago. 5 years ago, I think it was. It was during the Trump administration. I'm sorry, I was reading James Reel's statement there. 5 Marines at Camp Pendleton down towards San Diego were caught bringing across an ISIS sniper. No story after that. within 3 to 4 weeks, I think it was, SEAL Team 6 was stood down. Okay, they're back up, but if you look at, and I think you can go, you might not be able to. I don't know. I've never gone online. There's graduation photos of SEAL teams, and the Team 6, new Team 6 have pictures of. At least I have seen pictures of. I don't know if they're actually out on the web, but if you are able to see them, look at the SEAL Teams 6 specifically members. More take a guess of their national orientation, their national origination of SEAL Team 6 8 years ago compared to now. And you will see, if you can get a hold of those photos of what the members of the SEAL team 8 to 10 years ago, who they were, what they looked like, and then now, you'll do what I'm doing right now. You'll be like, and you told me they were stood down. What stood down in the military means is the whole unit, from admin to members in the field, get discharged of their duties. And that sector doesn't exist with the pre-existing humans that filled that space and called themselves whatever organization. In this instance, it would be SEAL Team 6. And then it gets reorganized with new people and put in, and it's boom, SEAL Team 6 again. And that happened like 5 years ago. There has never been a SEAL team that was told to stand down. Now there is for operations. Oh, we're fixing to go on an operation. We were told to stand down. But the whole unit during non-operational era, they weren't in an operation. The whole unit was told to stand down. If you're not in an active involved operation and they're told to stand down, that means you're being dismantled and something happened.
Yeah.
And no one talks about that, but I knew about it. I was like, interesting. Sorry for going on a rant there, but that's something that no one knew. Most likely you guys didn't know about.
It's good to know.
Yeah. That means it's already got cleaned up. So when people are talking about the military being infiltrated, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's already been cleaned up.
Yeah. The government got infiltrated, though. There's no doubt about that.
And it's already been cleaned up. This arrests haven't been made yet.
Oh, I know. Their hips are breaking and everything, right?
There's so much going to happen. So much going to happen. You won't hear about a lot of it. I'll tell you about. No, I won't, because I'll probably get a strike.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And there's that right there. After a certain amount of time, gets you put in jail because it's called treason. I think that treason, something like that. It's called trees grow in something soil. See, trees and soil. Yeah, trees and soil. There we go. AJ had a guess. Who's AJ, James? Had a guess on Friday.
Alex Jones.
Oh, okay.
I think he's coming back online now too, right?
No clue.
I think so.
No clue whatsoever.
You know who he is, though, right?
Name sounds familiar.
He was really, really famous podcaster. I'd say almost as famous as Joe Rogan.
Oh, sweet.
But really, like, he'd get really dynamic and, I'd say really excited.
Yeah,
and he just didn't give a crap what he said, and I think he made a few mistakes along the way, which he owned up to. But he got
encouraging
totally
to my channel. Yeah. If someone like that's coming back, maybe I'll start growing.
Yeah, they knocked him right off of pretty much every platform. Kind of like Julian Assange,
Yeah,
they just too much truth. The people, they can't handle the truth. Give them CNN instead. Anyway, I have to take off here. Neil,
you already live in the Great White North. You don't have to take off the Great.
Take off to the Great.
I'm glad you got the movie reference.
Oh yeah.
Right on.
It's a beauty way to go. If you're still on in an hour or so, I'll definitely pop back though.
Most definitely. I don't know if I'll be on or not, but if I am, obviously you're more than welcome. Anyone's more than welcome. I don't prejudice against nobody.
Sounds good. Click on the link at the top of the chat there, guys. If anyone else wants to come up.
Hold
See
on.
y'all soon.
You see that map?
I do.
That's a map of the German internment camps of World War II in America that no one talks about.
See if you can put yourself on full screen for that.
Okay.
And actually, when I drop down, you'll go full screen anyway. There you go. Yeah, lots of German people in the area where I live too.
Yeah, those are the internment camps.
German Mennonites.
They say the Japanese were the only ones that had internment camps, and I was like, bullshit. Yeah, and then they've already apologized to the Japanese for having internment camps, but no one's even talking about the Germans. But here, see right there, it even says Portland County Jail. They even took the jail and made it. I've been to this one, Angel Island State Park. I've been to that one. They had a plaque on the ground. It's been covered up since with concrete parking lot. So a lot of these have already been covered up, and there is no memorial to the site even.
It's interesting though. I see a few states that maybe 7 or 8 states that didn't have any, according to this map.
Yeah, Alabama's one of them, and then Louisiana, New Mexico, Nevada, Idaho, Utah. I think that's Wyoming, and Idaho, or Iowa, excuse me, or Illinois is there. And then Virginia.
Lots in the northeastern states, though. Look at them all.
Yep, all around the Great Lakes, northeast area.
Okay, buddy. Hopefully I'll see you later.
Take care, my friend.
Ciao.
Let me get this off before I get a strike for telling the truth. There we go. That's a cool picture. Anyone else want to come up? If not, just say something in chat and we'll discuss that as much as I know about it. InfoWars. I have heard about InfoWars. Is that where that guy's from? InfoWars? Alex Jones? Oh boy, howdy. It's 48 degrees here tonight. Close this window. Time to close up all the windows. There we go. Hey, I know what I can do. Let's see if I still got this. Oh yeah. Let me turn the volume down a little bit first. That was my little intermission commercial. Good night, James. Appreciate you being here, brother. I was just watching today at Paul Stamens has a Stamen 7 mushroom blend for sale of 7 of his 15 patented mushroom cures. He's got 7 of the big ones mixed into a powderish form he sells. Stamen 7, I believe it's called. Huh. I don't see any promotions for any ball games. But I'm sure they're on. I don't watch them, so I don't get the promos, I guess. It's called Stamens 7. Stamens 7, I believe. Let me look it up here real quick. Ah, yeah, Stamens 7, exactly. It's Stamets 7. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's from this place right here. Copy. I'll put this link in there for you. Holy crap, that's a big ol' ass link. Maybe I can do a better job. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. How can I get this without putting all that crap in there? Huh. Let's try. Shit, it won't let me. I don't know what I'm doing. It's called Host Defense Mushrooms. How's that? I can't copy and paste. I spelled defense wrong. Sorry about that. Fucking. Let's see if I can't get rid of this here. That was just way too much crap. Yeah, Chad, did you get that Host Defense Mushrooms? It's Paul Stamens thing. He's got, if you do research on him, he's got like 15 patents on the medical uses of mushrooms for humans' consumption and medical benefit. Yes, they do have them on Amazon. I got I don't know, man. If I show that one, I'll probably get a strike. I had a video set up to watch on Dude Tariff's work, and how the last time we used them, how effectively they worked. Wolf Schlegensteinhausen Bergerdorf. Say that 3 times fast. Hey, by the way, like, share, and subscribe. Get some people in here. My neighbor. There, I'm gonna have to take this off here so I can show you. I usually put cinnamon and honey in my tea for a majority of the year, but I just went over to my neighbor's house. Lemons, December lemon. So I cut the top off. I squeeze it, and I cut the top off of it, and I put like 14 or 15 drops of it in my tea. So now I have cinnamon, honey, lemon in my tea. Oh shit, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. The holistic medicinal uses or benefits of that is off the hook. And then if you really want to get crazy, you do like excuse me, ginseng tea and stuff like that. Eat ginseng root. Woo! Allergy season. Ah, I hate this time of year. Not hate it. I like it. I'm getting my lemons in December. How can you not like that? Also have oranges and grapefruit. Holy cow. All available. Ready to eat. They're ripe. And of course, avocado. Got some good trees around here. Well, if you look at family names, meaning of family names, Wolf Schlegenstein sounds like Wolf Killer, House of Bergerdorf. So Wolf Killer, House of Bergerdorf is what I'd get out of that, just from a generic, not looking at an actual definition of a name. Oh, did you see the picture, Jay? the thumbnail? I think that's it, but that's my personal opinion. I've had that picture for 6 years. I got it in an email from a friend a while back, and we were talking about this stuff then. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be it or not. We are going to get another one though, because if we're going to lose the Federal Reserve status and just be a reserve currency, we do need to switch notes like we did in 1971. And that's where we can see. Okay, we can take a look at Argentina for a use case of what cutting federal spending and waste and does for dropping inflation. And then you look at West Africa and Chad and how they paid off their national debt. And then you look at Niger and Burkina Faso, and you see how they're backing their monetary system that they're creating for their own countries out of their own gold. They're creating their own money, and they're building their own infrastructure without loans, all off of their own gold. And that's what is that? That is a social experiment going on to see what that economy would look like for the rest of the world, just like Argentina's. That was a social experiment that had never been done before, and they wanted to see the results of it. So they used Argentina as that experiment. They're using West Africa as a social experiment on what type of money will be a good money. And if I am correct in my thesis, the way West Africa seems to be growing, I would say a gold-backed currency stimulates economies for the poor, because that's what it's doing in West Africa. If you watch my videos, I mean, Ibrahim Traoré is building tomato plants, high rises, stadiums, bridges, all kinds of stuff, railroad infrastructure, all off of the gold they're mining in their country. He's building an infrastructure to make his country look better for investment money from other people's outside his country. And that's how you grow your country. It's how every country grows their country, except for these guys are doing it with well, if you look at America, we did it with our own gold too, all the way up till 1855. We mined all of our own gold for our US notes. So every country does it. It's nothing new or different. It's just we're alive now to see things happen, and we need to put together the things that we see happening. Mary, life comes first. I am inconsequential with this channel, according to myself. When I tell you, your personal life comes for this channel. Your kids come by, your grandkids come by. Turn me off, girl. Go live life. That's my perspective. No offense to anyone, but if something came up here that I had to take care of, I'd end the stream and take care of it, because life comes first. Happy holidays to everybody, by the way. Merry Christmas. I have probably my next live stream. I'll clean up the dust off if I got about a 1 foot tall LED Christmas tree. That's my decoration. It stays up all year long. It just depends on where I put it. If it's a holiday season or not. Makes it easy to deal with. Well, Mary, I am unfortunate that I no longer have the 4 dogs that I used to have. They all had to. Actually, last year was dogs. This year, and end of last year and this year, I had to put down. Within 12 months, I had to put down all 4 of my dogs for cancers or other medical reasons. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, hopefully everyone here is good individuals with a mindset of being a good person. And my hope for everyone is that you make a lot of money in this downturn and you keep your eyes open and ears open to what other people are suggesting and talking about, and then do some research and really take advantage of this opportunity coming. That's what I really like to see. I know I'm going to. I'm going to try it, and I'm doing what I can. And the way to do that is by undervalued assets like silver, platinum. Uh-oh. Having streaming issues. Can you guys hear me? Oh, right on. Cool. My end, I saw the Wheel of Death. And that's always a bad sign. Always a bad sign. Sweet, 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 sweet. Sweet Caroline. So, do you watch Good Morning Stackers? Or Sal? Seems like syrup is the thing to do. I don't care about that as long as I have cinnamon, honey, and lemon in my tea. Of course. I did. That's why I sent you that picture, Gerald, to show you I plugged him in Ninjas. And he doesn't mind me doing that. That's why I do. I don't do it often. I remain grateful to be in the Ninjas mod, and I don't take advantage of it. Yeah, his channel's growing big time. He agrees. That, do you guys hear that meow? That is Shadow. I can tell each and every one of my cat by their meows. And he's got the most outdoor tomcat meow. Is the only way I can describe that. But he's a cool cat. He's a cool black kitty cat, aren't you? Yes, you are. He's now been coming in the room lately. Let's see if I can't catch him on video. I doubt it. He's kind of fast. Where are you at, kitty cat? Oh, there he is. Oh, he's behind the chair. Let me move the chair. Boom. There's Shadow. Right there. Shadow. You're on TV, Shadow. First time for everything, baby. Shy boy. He's just standing there. He's like, what the hell is going on, boss? I'm getting out of here. No one said anything about video recording in the contract. I'm calling my lawyer. I might have to blurt him out with a blob as soon as this kitty lawyer gets in touch with me. Hey, Carlos. What's up, my man? I can make one of the greatest suggestions I could ever ever make to a human being, especially in this particular scenario. And since you are in Southern California, you are so damn close to these people. And I'm going to say this, and I'll keep telling you, you need to go talk or get a hold of the Gerson Institute, Gerson, Gerson Institute in Tijuana. In 1945, and I'm sure his daughter is not running the place anymore because she was in her late 80s a while ago. But in 1945, her father cured 4 people of stage 4 cancer. That's how good his treatment service is. And it's still, they had to move out of America because they were a threat to the healthcare industry, the insurance industry, and the pharmaceutical industry. So they discredited him. And on Wikipedia right now, if you look up Dr. Max Gerson, they'll say he was a kook. But if you go down to Tijuana and go to the Gerson Institute and talk to the people and see how what they've been healed of through his techniques of healing, you would be freaking shocked and amazed. And that's one piece of advice I'll give to you since I got you here right now, Carlos. Get in touch with the Gerson Institute and you will have no problem, because everything we need, according to God, is on this planet. And Gerson Institute tapped into that because it's holistic medicine. And holistic medicine is not allowed to be practiced in this country. That's why people don't get cured of cancer in this country. But they do get cured of cancer in other countries. Every now and then you'll hear of a pharmaceutical cure for cancer because, of course, they're pushing their cures because you can make money off of it. The Gerson Institute, you're going to be paying them for the special type food you need for whatever it is that you need to get taken care of, because there's a nutritional way of taking care of it, and it's been known about for about 90 years. People don't talk about it. I do. What's up, Nickel? And of course, every time I tell people good information like this, I'm glad you wrote it down, Carlos, is because this live stream might get deleted. Anytime I give information, good health information, December 12th, go see, I think it's 12th. I don't have a video on that Sunday, but yet I did one because it was deleted on my behalf. Oh, it's not, Carlos. It's not. It's pneumonia, bro. Pneumonia is going around right now. But if anyone here knows anyone, the Gerson Institute, baby. Gerson Institute. It's medicine the way God intended, not the way pharmaceuticals intended and insurance companies. I'll say that much. And hopefully I won't get this stream shut down on me. There's one thing they don't want you to do is be able to heal yourself. One thing God wants you to do, and even says so in the Bible, is everything you need is on this planet. Heal yourself. He didn't say to heal yourself part. You need to put it together. Everything we need is on this planet. Duh. So we can heal ourselves. Nutritional and holistic medicine. The two things that the pharmaceutical, insurance, and hospital industry don't look into. Even doctors in college aren't trained in natural or holistic medicine. Back in 1908, the law was written, and it states that they're not looking at holistic and natural medicines for anything. And they're not going to teach college kids how to do that to want to be doctors. So since 1908, they haven't really concentrated on it. Since 1945, no medical cures have been made, because the last medical cure was made was Dr. Max Gerson walking into the halls of Congress, being called there by Congress themselves, and having 4 patients who had 4 different types of stage 4 cancer, all 4 of them cured through the Max Gerson natural and holistic medicine that he practiced. And all of them testified before Congress. And Congress came up with a cure for cancer bill. And it's still sitting on the shelves to this day. 1945, cure for cancer bills. You ought to research it. Library of Congress. the industries of the insurance companies, hospitals, and pharmaceutical companies came in, lobbied, and started buying congressmen up, and they voted to shelve the bill, decided to call him a quack, and prevented him from practicing his medicine in the United States. God bless America. But you have Neil Hahn here, and I am giving you the truth. You can save yourself. Don't drown. All you got to do is kick your feet. Save yourself. It's easy. As soon as you find the information and have enough faith to believe that you can do it, it can be done, because everything we need is here for us. And that's one thing this channel's for, spreading of information. If you know how to make a person a billionaire or a millionaire, do it. Who's not? Well, okay. Maybe I got to jump over to YouTube, because I was on StreamYard, because I can't make people moderators on StreamYard. But I got to do StreamYard because I like messing around. The one thing I like about StreamYard is this right here. I love throwing pictures around. That's fun for me. Yes, indeed. Everybody, please marry everybody. Nickel, everybody. He is Carlo, A Million Crazy Stories is one of Ninja's moderators as well. You'll have bunches of prayers for you, Carlos, but it's not cancer, bro. It's pneumonia. That, or you have a tear in your lung, and that can come from coughing. If you've coughed, you can cough tear a hole in your lung that causes issues. There's lots of things it can be. It's not cancer. And if it is, go to the Gershwin Institute and cure yourself. Actually, you wouldn't have to, and it costs money. I'm not, it's not free. I'm sure it probably costs $10,000, $15,000 for a 2-week stay there. But after you get out, you're going to be healthy as a motherfucker. You got to follow their nutritional regime to keep it away. Yeah, the Million's a good man. He's actually, Gerald, I think you and A Million Crazy Stories have something in common. I think A Million Crazy Stories owns restaurants as well. Or owned. You don't currently own, you own, from my understanding. Well, I plan on jigging left while I go right, and faking right as I go left, and going low as I go high, and going high as I fake low, and doing them in an order that no one can replicate or stop. And if you couldn't keep up with the vocalization that I said on my moves, it'll probably work. I plead. Whom is this?
Me.
I was curious. That's why I lit you up, because I kind of figured it was, but I wanted to make sure, and I had my trigger on the finger to.
Well, who else comes up except me and JM usually?
I've had
Oh,
lots
shoot,
of
wait a
people.
minute.
I've had the Economic Ninja. I've had Ian. I've had you guys are in good standing. I've had the Economic Ninja, Ian, you, and JM. So you're in good standing. I must have high standards. How did you get in here? I must have high standards for my show.
I think JM must have taken the night off.
No, he got stuff to do. He said he'd be back.
Oh, okay.
He had to take off for about an hour or so.
What's your opinion on the drones?
Emilian, do not worry. Everything is going to be okay.
That's not an opinion. That's a statement. It is the United States government's drones. We all know that because A, they could have shot them down with a fighter easily. B, they said, don't worry, everything's under control. So that makes me know that it's their drones. Now, what they're looking for, I don't know.
And C, they actually have red and green flashing lights like drones following the FAA laws. Not all of them, but most of them do.
And if they were domestic individuals, they would know because you have to register if you're a certain size drone, you have to register it. So we would know exactly who they belong to. So
no, that's all staged, bro. There's a new tech. I've been saying this. I don't know what's going to be released, but there's a new tech coming. And drone technology, they have been perfecting. The drone taxi was released about 9 months ago in Dubai for trial periods, where a automated taxi drone would come by, pick people up, and take them to certain destinations. That's been in testing over in other countries now for almost a year. So maybe those technologies are going to be released to America after the insurance company deemed them safe enough to be introduced. Good night, Carlos. You take care, my friend. And ease your mind. Put it in God's hands. Your life in God's hands, and you'll be fine. There's ways out there, if you do have cancer, for it to be cured, no matter what type of cancer it is. I've got a lot of information on that. You have my phone number. So I will choke up every bit of information I have on it to give you, and we'll get you taken care of if it is, but it's not. Don't worry about it. And everyone do please pray for him. Yeah, I'm not concerned about the drones. Anytime the government says they're not concerned, I'm not concerned. Because I follow and believe the government. When someone comes after disaster and says they're here from the government, they're here to help, I believe them. No, the drones have, a lot of the drones have, I think it's new tech. There's so many patents the Navy's already got. It's pathetic. I could easily see them having drones that can go in the water and out of the water. As if you, here's maybe how many people are into physics in the chat?
I took it in high school.
Not a million. I got your back, brother, as much as you'll allow me to have it. Okay. What I was going to ask, if since no one's answering on the physics thing, is you would think it would be easy to fly a helicopter on Mars, but it is not. It took a lot of physics to be able to fly a little remote controlled drone helicopter, and they had to come up with a new type of way for it to fly because of the circumstances of it's Mars and not Earth. So they learned a lot. There's a lot of scientific and technical information learned from that. So it's very feasible that for economic gain, some physicists started a company taking some of the information he learned and created a drone that could easily, while having its props going, enter and exit the water just the same as, hold on, wait, let's think about it, because it's not really a new technology. Because I remember in the 70s, we were on these things called boats that had outboard engines, and you could have the propeller. It would go on out of water and in water, and you could lift it out and it would go, and you'd put it in, and you could do that all day long, and it would still work. So I don't see where a technology of actually having a drone's propeller go in and out of water is something unique, different, or new, because it isn't. So I'm not concerned. If it did something that we haven't already done for 50 years, then I'd be concerned. Other than the drone part of it, of course, we haven't done the drone part of it, but even the claims of it going in and out of water, if it has propeller type operations, it's no big deal. It can be done easily enough. We do it with every boat that we do. We put in the water and clean up after when your dad goes to clean the engine of your outboard. If you guys ever had a boat when you were kids and they're old enough, you'd hook the water hose up to your outboard and turn it on. The propeller would move just like it did when it was in water. So that we've had that technology for a long time. How you can stick engines in the water and they not get drowned by the water. Nothing's new about that. The application to drone technology, yeah, that's new, but it's not a new technology. It's a new application of old technology to a new technology.
Well, the rumors are, I heard, is that they're looking for
dun dun dun
radioactive material.
Radioactive. Yeah, sure.
Well, that's what's going around now. That they are the U.S. military, and that I guess they have sensors on them, and they're looking for radioactivity in the Northeast, California, and Washington D.C. A possible terror situation.
That's a believable story. But no one's made any reports or heard any reports of neighborhoods getting overwashed with the feds picking people up. So how believable is the story? Because if they're going to be seen do that kind of operation where everyone knows now, whoever has the nukes know that they're looking for them, so they're on the move. Where's the people chasing them?
Yeah, Jay's got it. The dirty bomb theory. Yeah, and at night, with the right sensors, you be able to pick it up at night better than the day, I think. So that's why I think they're flying at night, mostly.
I think they're flying at night so that I can be annoyed on my program when people think that it's something other than what it did. I think that's the only reason they did it, because I'm vain like that. Wow, that was a long meow. Be quiet, Shadow. Don't you sassy fast me, boy.
That's true too, Chad. They have, lead will disguise it. It'll block you from being able to pick it up on sensors. That's correct.
That's why if you get an old 50s refrigerator, keep it. Keep it in your garage, but keep it. It's the best thing you have for EMP pulse. A large storage area. And it's metal. So a 1950s refrigerator is actually an EMP bolt. I've got one. And I'm so weird. I've got my EMP bags filled with shit inside it, like a double protection. And then I rebought everything I stuck in there so I wouldn't miss it.
You might have an ice box. Do you remember those?
Yep.
1950s.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool little units.
I like the old Coca-Cola machines that had the take the bottle cap on the side, bottle cap remover. You lift up the top, get your soda, and then remove the top on the side of this soda container. Steve, you know it, bro.
Oh, Chad's into lead. Have you ever seen my lead bars, Chad? I've got some videos up. My bars stacked up. So, are you going to put them into 1 pound measurements, or what are you going to do? 1 pound, 2 pound, 5 pounds? Oh my Lord!
Allergies are kicking in right now.
I like the 1 pound, and the same way if I ever melt all my nickel.
I got another question for Chad. You're jumping straight in lead. I'm going to ask you straight up, Chad. Do you have the excess lead because you got silver ore and you smelted it down and you have a lot of lead in excess to make the bars with, and you have some silver to go along with it? Or did you just get the lead and are making the bars?
Okay, 1 and 2 pound bars. Very good. That's what I do. And that's what I want to do with my nickel and my copper when I decide to melt it. I want to make them 1 pound and 1 pound bars is what I want to do. Since it's based on the pound. It'd be a lot easier to do it in the smaller size, I think. Plus, I'm weak and old now. I've just turned 56. I can't hardly pick up anything over 10 pounds.
And for all you guys out there, don't be like nickel. Because I've been 56 and I can still push, pull, and lift my body weight. Age is just a number. If you don't use it, you lose it. Stay active. Stay fit, and you'll never be inactive or unfit.
Well, you got to die sometime.
Yeah. And you can die active and fit.
You wasted all that energy.
The people who carry you in the casket will be thankful for that, not having to carry the extra 80 pounds of fat.
Yeah, I'm going to make them earn their stuff when I leave my silver and gold. They got to lift me up to earn it when I'm just going to give it to them.
Make sure the casket carriers are in your will.
Yeah. Yeah, and then because they're going to cash it in as soon as they can, they're going to run and take a cruise or something. That's what they're going to do. I've told them in my video wheel, if they do that, I'm coming back to haunt them. Also, did you all know when they make silver in the lab, a lot of times they turn lead into silver. That's what they use. Very expensive to do it, though.
Sorry, I just went through a sneezing fit, so I muted myself. Oh, man. Yeah, I got lemons growing next door and oranges growing out here in Cali. We still have pollen in the air. This is the winter, spring allergies for me. And they come in wintertime because I was just able to pick some lemons today to add the lemon to my teas because they're just now turning yellow. And I'm getting oranges off of my trees and my neighbor's trees because they just turned ripe in December. We still have growing season year round. Allergies year round on the back. Well, not year round, but specifically in wintertime, it hits me for some reason. Totally sucks. Butey. Because I'll go through like 7 or 8 sneezes. Boom, 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 back to back. Yeah, the Kipel. Yeah, so you're making, yeah, you're taking ore, silver ore. Hold on, let me read what Jay's saying. Sounds like he's breaking down rock and the silver ore rock and pulling it out of the crucible. Actually, if you watch Small Town, Ghost Town Living on YouTube, it's called a show called Ghost Town Living. The guy bought the ghost town of Cerro Gordo, and he's been living there for like 2.5 years. He goes down in the mine about 700 foot, and he pulls the ore out, He pulled out 10 pounds of rock ore. They pulled out the good stuff. So he's only getting sub shit. So he pulled out 10 pounds, broke the rock up, smelted it down, and then he got most of the impurities out except for the lead with the silver. So then he broke it down in another smelting, and he got 3 pounds of lead. And at the very, very end, he got like 1.2 ounces of silver from 1 pound of silver ore.
Is Jay in chat? Is that JM?
No, someone said that.
Okay. That's what I thought I said. I don't remember ever using Jay.
40s to 60s night to day. What, Ginger?
Ginger saying, are you taking me to Alabama?
I might leave her fucking mad ass here. They all demand their love at different times of the day. They didn't know about it.
If he tries to leave any of those cats, when he goes, he's going to look down and see one of them on the hood, all fours out. They're going.
Nope. How I plan on getting these guys cross country is, well, actually, honestly, what I plan on, it all depends on money, is capturing about 15 or 16 outside cats and transporting 25, my 9, and the 16 outside ones, all at one time to be housed in the area to be housed in the area where we're going to be living at a vet, so they can do all the checks on all of them, flea medication, second round inoculations, all this stuff. And I can put the outside cats on outside and inside cats on inside when I get down there, so they won't be traveling with me. I can have them all flown. We won't talk about any mines. We can talk about sluicing. You can be sluicing pretty much. If you love yourself, get yourself and start now saving up to buy a LiDAR drone. You could make so much money panning areas where people are not going if you get a LiDAR drone, because you'll be able to see with that LiDAR where the river was several hundred years ago. And it could be as far as 50 yards to the east of west of where it is now. And if you go to that area, no one's going there because they always go where the water flows. But if you go to where the water used to flow, well, where it used to flow, you know the difference from where it used to flow to where it flows now. Where it used to flow, no humans were getting gold out of it. So there's probably more gold where it used to flow than where it's flowing now, if you go out looking for gold. Just saying. And there's a lot of those out there. Actually, there's a river in North Carolina that got changed the side of the valley that it's on after the major flooding, which means half that side of the valley is exposed riverbed that hasn't been exposed in at least 300 years, which means should be gold sitting right there on the ground. But I'm not there. I don't know. If I was, I wouldn't tell you if I got it.
So Gerald said he's going to come to my prediction show. He's got a prediction for me. I can only wonder what it is. Let me guess. Bitcoin to 2 million. Is that going to be it, Gerald Draper, during 2025? That's what I figure.
There's several pathways I see Bitcoin heading, and I'm not sure which way it's going to head. But the digital currency part, the blockchain part of it, the technology of it, isn't going anywhere. What the name of the company is using a certain technology for a certain purpose at a certain time, Well, that's like Wall Street. That always will change. It goes to the one who's got the best results for that year. You know, number one doesn't always stay number one. They fall to number two because number two is aggressively wanting to be number one. So they offer better product and service and newer tech. And quiet, Ginger. So, you know, it's bound to happen regular business style that whoever's number one now isn't going to be number one in 20 years. Because it's just the evolution of business. So there ain't no shutting her up. She sees something up on the wall that's, I don't see anything up there, but she's convinced it's there. So I'll just let her figure it out. But it's not there, Ginger.
It will be, she asked, but when it's going to be December 28th will be the prediction show.
Maybe she sees this spirit in the room and she's chasing it off. I don't see what the hell she's looking at. But she's not looking at me meow. She's looking at the wall, moving up and down, meowing at the wall. Yeah, altcoin. That's probably going till in Q1, beginning Q2, somewhere around there. Yeah, a lot of coins are going to jump big time. It happened 4 years ago. It's going to happen in 4 more years. The percentage of gain to investment, depending on when you invested, will change, obviously. But that also happens in Wall Street.
Well, we know Gerald's old because look what he said. He's calling me young man. Young man, you're going to learn, young man. So
he's being nice. I call you old man because I'm older than you, and you're actually older than me. Getting a 100-yard dash, I'll put money on me. Unless you got your lawnmower on high gear.
No, I might lose a lung, but in short distance, that would be a short distance for me. I used to be really fast. I still haven't lost everything.
I used 100 yards because I used to do long distance, but I've been smoking for a long time. But I can still do 100 yards and be functional at the other end. Further than that, yeah, I'm not bugging out. I'll fall back just to retake it later, but I ain't gonna run away.
Graphics. I don't think I have any graphics, Mary.
Yeah, you do.
What I have?
It looks like Time magazine graphic.
Oh, well, no. I mean, I don't have all the fancy stuff like other channels have. Like they have an introduction and music and a countdown and all that crap. I don't do all that stuff. I go directly to just start directly in. You know, I don't go for all the introduction.
Right on. That's my family, Scottish family crest I got as a picture right now.
Oh,
at least the
okay.
top part of it. That's where I get sans pure every now and then. I write that. Since about 1600s, that's been the motto in the French language. It's been the motto for 1100 years, but in different languages. The more recent, since about 16, 17. Well, 17th century. Since the 17th century, it's been French. And it's been called sans pure or fearless, fear nothing, without fear. Yeah. And that's the kilt or family colors compared to like the Stuarts. If you compare it to the Stuart family or the Sinclairs, it's very similar because we're related. The Sutherlands had Northern Scotland right beside the Sinclair family that had Northern Scotland. Even like cousin family members. And when I speak of this, I don't speak about 13 centuries ago. I'm talking about the only reason I ain't got money is my mom didn't marry who she's supposed to. She married outside the family, and we got cut out. She was born with 4 names: Mary Phillips Stevenson Sutherland. And if you know anything about royalty, they have 4 names. I only have 3 names. My brother only has 3 names. My dad only has 3 names: first, middle, and last. So we got cut out because we're bastards. We're not McConnells, or no, McDonald's. That's who we're supposed to marry, McDonald's. You know, keep the bloodline type shit. I'm glad. Those people are crazy. That other meow was Gandalf. I opened the window and the outside cats are strutting by and he's talking to them. So, let's see, what else? There were several things I wanted to talk about that were good things to talk about throughout the week, but again, I did not write them down. Damn it. Oh, well. So, let's see. What do you guys think about the appointment to head NASA?
You got it.
Hell, I don't know. I was just asking a guy named Isaac something. He's supposed to be a billionaire in the space industry.
Platinum price, what's the floor? I think it's pretty close to the floor now.
No, it has room to go lower depending, and it will go lower because I think the depending is not on a good sign. Not until after the cuts are made. Because if you see at the beginning of the stream, I showed a thing on Malay. It was about a 5-minute program, and it showed a graph from when he got in office and the cuts he made and how long it took to get inflation from 25% down to 5%. It was like 7 or 9 months, and it's the first time ever been done. That didn't start till he got in office, and it took 7 to 9 months after he got in office. So someone gets in office and does that immediately, you're looking at what, January plus 7 months before things. I mean, things will be getting better before then, but before inflation stabilizes out, it'll be about October. But we'll be feeling better before then. If nothing else crazy happens, no black swan events, shit like that. We should follow the same path as Argentina. That's why they were the social experiment and that's why I said there was a V-shaped recovery baked in. Because if you look at Argentina, man, their economy since 9 months that dude's been in down there, he's cut inflation dramatically, and their economy has risen. And that's the V. If you take the part of the inflation drop and the economy raise, makes a great perfect V, because it's a quick and intense ending to bad times, and even more so positive to the good side. But we haven't gotten there yet, so there's still a month of pain before we start the cut. And then there's going to be pain, the people who get, and there's going to be people who get laid off in the government. When I was growing up, and I'm sure it was the same with you, Nickel, if you got a government job, it was pretty much guaranteed for a career, because it's hard to fire you.
It is.
You had a guaranteed job. You had guaranteed benefits. Your family was guaranteed covered. You had a guaranteed good wage. There was a lot of guarantees. And the government kept growing and adding people and growing. I think our largest employer is the government.
It is. It's more than 50% now.
We have 450 agencies. All of them have overlapping jurisdictions with other agencies. If you want to know why nothing gets done, or why you can get charged by 3 different agencies for doing the same thing, that's why. So a good 1/3 of those easily could be cut. The bad thing about that is the people. They're going to be looking for jobs because they were content, complacent, and they got that job knowing they'd have a guaranteed future. And when you have a guaranteed future, you become complacent, content, and really don't do your job, and every one of us suffers. So to do something about the morale of the employees and to make them quit instead of firing them, it's been set up. They did COVID was a setup for it. Work from home. All they got to do is mandate, like Vic Vamy, whatever his name is, Vic Swami. All they got to do is mandate they come show up to work in the office for 8 hours or 40 hours a week. 25% of them will quit. Boom.
Well,
there you go. If 25% of the federal government employees quit, we'll have done a better job with our inflation and cutting inflation than Argentina did. So there will be no need to lay anyone else off. Then all they're going to have to do is go after the excess stupid spending. And that's in budget. That's regulatory. That's paperwork shit that you follow and easy to cut. And it doesn't hurt any jobs that are existing now. It only hurts the people who are fleecing us. So that would help with a V-shaped recovery if that goes on at the same time, which it should.
Well, how much did Musk and the guy that's helping him, Swami, is that it? Is that the two?
Vic Swami, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. They said they gave a number already. They think instantly they can cut off the fat, and I can't remember. Was it 200 billion or was it 2 trillion? I can't remember.
I honestly can see 2 trillion instantly, but that's me.
I think it was
probably 200 billion, but I can see a 1.2 trillion being a final number of cuts yearly, which means over 10 years have saved 16 million or 12 trillion dollars being added to the deficit, which throws it in a positive direction to start with, because then you free up another 1.2 trillion dollars to pay off the deficit, or you could cut that number in half and only use 600 billion extra every year to pay off the deficit and give tax cuts. And you'd be in a positive direction with both paying off the debt and also cutting future spending that's not supposed to happen for a total of $6 trillion. That's not supposed to start happening until 2026. You can cut all those programs before they even start and knock off $6 trillion off the deficit overnight. You guys really should have voted. You really should have voted for me president. I know how it can be done.
If they get that cut, that will be the biggest.
Of course it will. And it'll increase investment by other countries into America. And the manufacturers that have already started building will be finished and hiring. And it'll be part of the V-shaped recovery. And then Nano Nuclear, who's also getting pushed by the regulatory Federal Nuclear Energy Agency in Idaho, which I did a video on if you want to go back and look at it. They're getting pushed real hard for distribution here in America of micro nuclear energy plants throughout America. So it goes back to another video I did on energy. And when I said by 2030, energy prices will be 75% cheaper. Well, the starting of that is the sale of micro nuclear energy plants throughout America. There's already 80 of them in Central and Eastern Europe, which means there's about 1 million households that aren't using their grid, which is saving their grid and lowering demand, which should lower prices. So for other reasons, like the cutting of the Nord Stream pipeline, their energy costs are still rising when they should be falling, but that's due to other existential circumstances. But if those existential circumstances hadn't happened, their energy prices would be falling. But we still have to add oil and gas, natural gas to our production, which is also going to fucking lower the price of energy here in America. We're going to
I think he can get gas price down to about $1 a gallon.
We are going to be so wealthy, and those of us that are prepared for it during the bottom part of that V of the V-shaped recovery on the downward end, which I'm seeing right now big time in Alabama. That's why I want to buy some houses real fast. Next year, I'm buying some houses in Alabama. Them prices are dropping 20, 30, 50%. Not all of them. 1 in 100, 1 in 150. The fact of the matter is that 1 in that 100, 150 dropped by 50% encourages the others in a downward direction even faster, which opens up opportunity to buy houses at a much more reasonable rate in a state that has the second lowest property tax in the nation. So yeah, a $300,000 house now, get it for $160,000, pay tax on $160,000 of 0.02%, and live in a house that in any other state would be $350,000, $400,000 worth of real estate and have a couple of acres. What the fuck? Why not? And the dollar goes further in Alabama because of the relaxed regulations as much so as possible on the state level, and taxes are not non-existent taxes in that state. Makes for a stronger buying power of your dollar. For instance, if I early retire, which I'm going to, I'll get like $800 a month. Out here in California, that I'll lose $1 every dollar of my buying power because of regulations and state taxes is worth 88 cents of buying power. So my actual $800 will only give me $700 worth of products out here in this state. If I go to Alabama, every dollar can give me $1.12 worth of buying power. So my $800 early retirement check now jumped up to over $900 spending power just because I moved to a cheaper area of the country with less rules, regulations, and taxes. Wow.
And no pot.
24% increase in my retirement spending power, not actual money gain, but spending power of that money is going to be increased by 24%. I mean, how much more do you want to hear about why not to go to Alabama? In my particular circumstance, from going to every other state to Alabama, it would be totally different because I don't know the tax rate and all this other stuff. Imagine leaving New York and going to Alabama would be a good one. Yeah, exactly, Mary. You see that? That's a 24% increase in spending power just from moving. That's outrageously outstanding. And that's what's going to happen as we become less federalized and more states running things. You're going to see competition, people moving from state to state because of that exact example I just gave you. Other people are going to start looking at it as they wake up to the hard times, and they're going to be like, hold on, my buying power goes 24%, and I can keep the same rate of pay that I'm getting now because I'm on a fixed income. Oh, shit. You just increased your income by 24% by moving. That's an increase in lifestyle. Damn. Yeah, vote with your feet and your wallet. Exactly. And that's where state competition and getting rid of the federal Department of Education is a great thing, because then you'll have lots of student pilot programs to see who can turn out the most smartest kids. And you'll have 50 states competing to be number one. Right now, none of them are competing to be number one. So what kind of kids do we have? See the difference? What? Gandalf, what?
The cats keep hearing him say about moving. They're getting a little nervous.
No, they're just all going through their own shit. Every half hour it's a different one. I got 8 of them here, so I got 4 hours of this crap.
Kentucky's a pretty cheap state to live in. Arkansas is pretty cheap to live in.
Taxes are high.
Huh? Who?
Taxes are high. A lot higher than Alabama. Alabama's property tax, the tax that you're going to have to pay. Okay, first off, their housing prices are some of the lowest in the nation. And the amount of property tax you have to pay on that house is the 49th lowest in the nation. So you're getting a double whammy in the good, positive sense, because the house is cheap to start with. I'm looking at, there's a house that just sold, a starter house, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, brick, maybe a quarter of an acre lot inside a little small town, $47,000. Okay, so you're paying 0.02% on $47,000 every year to keep it. Hello?
My house right now is a 3-bedroom, 1 bath brick.
Yeah, and this is the same. It was like a 1,400 square foot. It had a front yard, backyard, little side space between houses. It was brick, had a fireplace, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, like I said, 1,400. It sold for $46,000.
Well, they assessed this one, I think, at 125, I think.
You want that assessment to go lower because you pay less tax.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, they really
everyone's
depend
happy
on
they're getting the tax. They're I'm gonna refinance. Okay, yeah, spend all that money, and for the rest of your life you're gonna be paying fucking tax on that money you already spent. People still know what the hell. And a reverse mortgage. Oh my God, I knew when they did reverse mortgage, I was like, oh my God, we're dead. I'm probably the only person, one of the few people in America who said, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. On so many different levels, because it makes grandma and grandpa be able to stay on their own without the kids being around them. So it breaks apart the family unit. Not only does it do that, when they die, you don't get to inherit it because they already sold it and they only got 5 years of payment for a house that they should have got 30 years for. So you got fucked.
And
you want to know why people are poor. Okay.
And it has to be a certain amount. It has to be, you can't do like 200. It'll have to be a higher amount than that too, I think. So.
Oh, they put in a couple after a little while, they put in rules. That's why you don't hear about it so much now. Because they started regulating, they're like, oh my God, no, hell no, that's theft. And so that's why you don't hear about it, because it was literally theft, especially during, oh my God. If, you know, could you imagine 1 million old folks who just died during the COVID thing, all having reverse mortgages, how much money the banks would have made when they died? They assumed the whole fucking house, fucking million houses for fucking 4 years of monthly payments. You get to own a house. Oh my God. Oh my God! Yeah, they had it planned out.
Yeah, yeah. Jeff Bodine. That's what I'm going to tell you. You mean Neil? You don't trust Tom Selleck?
I like Tom Selleck. I totally like Tom Selleck, the actor. That's what you got to understand. That's where people get fucked up. He's an actor. He gets paid to say shit because he's good at saying shit and he's believable. I bet you he doesn't believe in it. The fact that he sold out and took the money, well, that says something about his morality, but he's still a good dude, I'm sure, if he didn't suck dick.
I love Magnum PI. Not the new one. The new one's crap. The old one, classic. Watch it all the time.
Oh, by the way, hello, Jeffro. Yeah, I like Magnum PI. I like the old one. I like the new one.
No, I saw, I think, one of the new ones, and I said, nah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I like the Skeleton Crew too. So that might be weird there. And I also drip lemon from a lemon into my tea. So I might be weird there. But I've met 3 billionaires in my life, and all 3 of them were weird. No, excuse me, 4, because one of them was brothers, so 4. But 3 families. 4 of the actual billionaires, the twins. They were 90-year-old twins were billionaires. I always find that funny. See these old fuckers. Oh, you guys are twins? I mean, who says that to older people? Older people. Quigley Down Under was good. I really didn't like Tom Selleck and too many other things, though.
There was the movie where he had the robots that he had to deactivate. What was that called? Gene Simmons was in that one. He played the bad guy. I can't think of the movie now.
I don't recall, but I know what you're talking about.
Somebody in the chat knows. Roy, Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he had a couple baseball movies that he did, and he did a bunch of westerns.
I just saw Pierce Brosnan interview with Gene Simmons. It was funny as shit. Gene wasn't letting him take no. He was giving him no room. That guy's good, man. He was the guest and he hosted the show.
Yeah, Simmons, I liked him all right until of the how can I say this about not getting this video thrown down? The jab. He was all for the jab, and he was making fun of people that didn't want it. So
yeah,
I'm not as big on him.
Yeah. It doesn't have any representation to me on what he is past. and the evolution of everything that he's done. So I mean, he's been out of the limelight for so damn long, in my opinion. I wouldn't go to a Kiss concert right now. That's just like I wouldn't go to a Nazi. I wouldn't go to any of them. They're too fucking old. So it's not like I follow them.
Well, they still rock all night.
Oh, they're old music, yeah.
Or is it party all night long? Is that it? Or is it rock all night? Party all night long. They still party all night long. Yeah. I guess that was your biggest hit.
Who? Kiss? Oh, hell no.
They was. Yeah. That's the only one I hear on the radio by them anymore. They don't put anything else by them on.
That's because it's too satanic to put the stuff up prior to that. They have so much music out before then. Hell, I don't even recall. I'm seeing the album covers. I mean, I know when they did their 4 individual albums, they'd already been together for like 5 years. They came out in like 1974. And the original members didn't break up until like the late 80s. And what you're talking about is a time period shortly after they went through that. Well, the song that you were mentioning is from that time period. So they had a good 10 years of music before that time. And here's an album hardly anyone knows about that Kiss did, is The Elder. And we can't put up any links for this stuff because it'll get me straight. But if anyone individually checks for yourself on the album The Elder, they did for a movie that never came out. So they released the album, but they didn't promote it. So no one really, it doesn't sound, all the songs there. Well, two of the songs you can tell are Gene Simmons inspired, but the rest of the songs, they don't sound like Kiss at all. It's a total different genre of their norm. So it's called The Elder.
Yeah, that's it. I got it. I kind of got it right. I broke it up in 2 parts, but that's the song I'm talking about. That's right.
So what other subject do people want to talk about?
Well, I can tell you this: IU women won today. Basketball. He's going to hit the mute button.
What was that?
IU women won today.
I had to throw my tea in the microwave. It got cold on me.
I made some more cookies. They didn't turn out as good this time. No. They may dry out in a few days. I think they're a little too moist. I probably should have put more oats in it.
There we go. Can't have cold tea unless it's a hot night. And you can't have hot tea on a hot night. You can't have cold tea on a cold night. But you can't have cold tea on a hot night and hot tea on a cold night. I guess I have hot tea on hot nights sometimes. Not often. Rub it in, Gerald. Rub it in.
I'll tell you why, Gerald Draper. Since Mr. Draper brought up the subject matter, I think I need to answer it. The reason is because it's played more like what the men used to play it as. So I like the way the games are conducted. So that's why.
Are you talking about women's synchronized swimming again?
Basketball. Mary, I like banana bread. Now, did you put walnuts in it? Because some people put nuts in their banana bread.
It ain't banana bread if you ain't got walnuts in it.
I actually prefer just banana bread, nothing in it. Yeah, these are a little too gooey. I should have put
pecans. There you go.
More oats in it.
Work. That means you know how to make pecan pie. And those are good. Pecan pie.
Yeah, I like pecan pie.
I'm kind of weird. I like fried mullet too. Simple, easy, and cheap. What's up, Emerald? Nice to see you, brother.
Emerald.
So, any subject? Oh, what was it? I saw something about. Oh, it was about space mining.
I figured that's what you're going to come on my show and predict. The 28th.
What was that? Where was I? I think I saved it. Let me go to my playlist, see where I would have put it. I didn't put it on Sundays.
Emerald, he does a new show. It's called Slightly Uncooked. Slightly Uncooked. Huh?
Put his link up.
Well, anyway, he's got a new show he's doing, and I saw it for the first time. I didn't know he had it. And I looked, he does really good. Emerald is a great interviewer. He's got the voice for it. And I told him when I had him on mine, I told him that. I said, man, you could do really good having a show to interview people. So he does really good on there. And like I said, he's really good at it.
I'm still looking for that video if you're wondering why I'm being quiet. I don't remember where I put it.
I think he had who his guest was
I have no clue. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to watch other people's stuff. Not that I don't want to. It's just I got a lot of other things going on. Not there. That was that one. Maybe it was under live playback.
Yeah, 210. That was it. I started to say that. I go, was it 210? Yeah, 210. He had 210 on. And while we're here, I'll ask Emerald. Tried it. Is he on anymore? I cannot find him, any of his stuff. I wondered did he delete his channel or something? Because I don't ever see him on anymore.
I can't find it. That sucks. Yeah, I don't do too many interviews. I just let people up on the panel and we chat. If that's an interview, I guess. I'm gonna try and get Ninja back on. I'll make him feel bad. I'll be like, man, come on, give me an hour of your time. I do so much for you, Travis. You're like, Neil, I mean, it's Sunday. It's your day off, bro. You're like, Neil, I'm like, Sunday, Travis, it's your day off. And we'll see how it goes from there. Sure, that motherfucker's taking off and flying across the world at a drop of a dime. Sweet. Thank you, Jeffro. What's up in the world? Yeah, we've been trying to talk about that a little bit. Never come up with a conclusion for what they are.
I think they are U.S. government because the government could shoot them down with ease with a fighter if they wanted to. They can outrun a fighter plane. And they have it. And they also said there's no threat to us at all. They know for sure. So that tells me it's theirs. And they are, what I heard is they're looking for radioactive material, potentially maybe to be used against us from like Iran or one of those countries. And that's what they're looking for. That's what I hear.
Yeah, that sounds feasible.
He's out, Jay. He lost the election. He's gone. There's nothing that can happen that could keep him in there other than if he declared martial law and then just took it over like a dictator.
And that's not happening.
Huh?
That's not happening. Not happening at all. Have you not seen how the world's reacting? Trump's he's not even in power. He's already made deals. He's changing just by being there. They're treating America differently. We'll find out. I'd say if you could or can over the next year, try and move out to a rural area that's less populated, because the general rule of thumb, I would imagine, since economics comes into quote unquote warfare, the further you are away from an area, the target area, the better. A target area being an area of large population could be destroyed with a small amount of money weapon. So if you're far enough out, it just, but sada non grata, it costs too much money to go out and get you individually. So you'd be like the last one. You'd have lots of fair warning. But if you live in like a city, that's another story. And I say that as an example of 9/11 and the towers being brought down. No matter who brought down the towers. In California, I was working on a 37-story building, and we got evacuated that day. We didn't even know why. We were up there working. We didn't get the news because we were working. We were doing iron work, and all of a sudden, the contractor pulls us off the job. Tells all the contractors. The general contractor told all the subcontractors to pull all his men off the job because the 9/11 attack happened in New York. And San Francisco is also a financial hub, and they weren't sure if it was going to get hit. I didn't find that out for a day or two afterwards. That's why they took us off the job that day. So, Anything can happen anywhere, and it affects a lot of different things. But if you're not there for it to affect you, if I wasn't in San Francisco, that occurrence that happened in New York City across the country wouldn't have affected me. But because I was in a big localized area, that it affected me. That's all I'm saying. Less things tend to affect you if you don't have as many people around you on a normal basis, or live in a large area, a large concentrated group of people. And I say that living around 11 million people. Bay Area supposedly has like 11 million-ish people. Supposedly. I don't think they've done a census since people started leaving. It might be down to like 7 or 8 million. Streets do seem kind of bare these days. Every drone I've ever bought's a Chinese drone.
I'm in the middle of the Midwest. Oh, Mary, if she's in the middle of the Midwest, she is probably either Missouri or Iowa. That's what I would gamble and bet. I'm in Indiana.
What was that?
Mary said she's in the middle of the Midwest. I said that means she must be either Missouri or Iowa.
Isn't St. Louis area semi-center?
Well, that's Missouri. Illinois/Missouri line. Yep.
Isn't the Missouri River or the Mississippi River, that's where like the converges somewhere around in that, somewhere there? Or am I thinking? No, that'd be.
Well, I'm in Louisville. Louisville is I'm in near Louisville. I'm in Indiana, but near Louisville. And Louisville is the gateway to the South.
So that's probably the area where the Missouri and the Mississippi connect. Very, very interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right on the yeah, that's what I thought. You know, here's a little interesting fact that actually has great significance, but no one talks about. The Army Corps of Engineers is keeping the ebb and flow, the natural tendency of the ebb and flow of the lower part of the Mississippi River from doing that. They're trying to control it. And there was a breach in their dam system. And the locals, after a year of nothing getting done because of other things happening with the feds, they didn't do anything. The locals petitioned to leave that hole in the dike system open because, and even the federal government's been amazed because there's been like 1.5 miles of wetland and what is that? Not marsh, but mangrove created in 1.5 years. 1.5 miles of land was covered in mangrove, which is the natural protection for flooding and hurricanes, because they left that hole in the dike. And they're actually studying it more, seeing how many more holes they'll let out to increase the mangrove size in the Louisiana area rather than decrease it. And New Orleans is building like a 27-mile dike. That's interesting news that no one talks about. Right on. Well, I'm hoping my Christmas present to myself next year will be a purchase of a house and, or more than one house and property in Alabama.
I thought I'd get you for a gift. I thought I'd send you a cat.
Right on. Sounds like a wiener dog. So anyone else want to talk about anything?
I think Gerald's talking about Emerald. He has a bunch of vintage bars, silver bars.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of into that. He's also like military stuff. He ought to see my bayonet I just got from like the late 1800s, early 1900s. It's a French bayonet used, I think, in World War One. They're older than that, but they used them in World War One.
Yeah, I'm not into weapons. At least not man-made ones.
Constitutional Stacker was showing me a awesome 22 they got. Armor piercing rounds that go in it. And he showed me a video of the guy using it. He had an old metal proof vest, and it went through that sucker, went right through the next, and he had like steel behind it. It went through both. It went through the vest and then the steel, man, from about 30 feet. I told him, I said, I need to get me one of those.
And that's why there's a difference between cover and concealment.
1918 trench knife. Cool aces. So when I watch this next live, he can bring that on and show. I guess he's already showed it. I missed it. He can show it. Show it to me. That's cool.
That's all I can contribute to that conversation. We can talk about it though. I don't collect that stuff.
I don't know, but I used to have the big 100-ounce Engelhardt bars, and I understand you get an extra premium for them now. And man, I just got spot price plus a little bit of maybe 50 cents an ounce premium on it, and I traded those in for constitutional silver. I didn't want that big of a bar. I didn't want that big of a amount of silver because I knew silver was going to go up. It has, and I wanted it in smaller amounts, and so I did that. It probably cost me a little bit to do it because I had to pay the broker guy. I had to give him his what do you call it, commission. So the commission part I had to pay, but it paid for itself because silver was up a lot more than what I bought it for. So it didn't really cost me anything extra. So I did that. I'm glad I did. So
right on.
Actually, I didn't really like the design of the Engelhardts. They're too flat and square looking. I like the ones, the traditional, when you saw the TV show, you saw the gold bar and how it was kind of like, what would you say the shape? Pyramid? Kind of a pyramid shape, not quite as sharp, but kind of, I'm talking about that shape of bar. Yeah. And that's what I like in silver. I like those shape bars. I never liked the Engelhardt design. So
Right on, right on, right on. I'm not.
I-
That's why I'm not talking. I don't know too much about silver bars and old stuff. I just started buying silver around 2020.
On the spot price of silver and gold, because it affects both. If they lower rates, and I understand that's I think that's what they're going to do is lower them again. I think gold goes up. I think silver goes up. That's exactly what I think happens. It'll be cheaper to buy. I mean, cheaper to finance to buy. However, a lot of people's putting their money in the crypto, and that could maybe keep the price down some. I guess I don't know. People only have so much money. You got to invest it in this or that. See, me and Gerald do think alike on some things. That's a very smart move, Gerald. I thought you was going to say you swapped them and then you went out and bought a bunch of Bitcoin with it. And I was going to say, mistake, buddy. That was a mistake there. I bet Gerald cannot wait till my prediction show, the 28th of December. He can't wait. He'll be the first one up. Give me his prediction for 2025 on Bitcoin and cryptos. He can't wait to give me that prediction. That's what I used to look for. When I first started out, I wanted messed up Morgans and peace dollars. At least I was kind of smart enough to do that. And I wanted them either cold, something like that, or I wanted them to be the dates missing because you could just get them cheaper at that time period. Of course, this was when silver was under 10 an ounce. That's what I tried to do. And I see Yankee is trying to do that now. He's going in now to Tim, and anytime Tim gets a cold piece in there or a beat up Morgan or Eagle or Morgan dollar, well, I guess he collects Morgans, but he buys the Eagles. He wants the Eagles that are cold or have flaws and try to get them at spot. And that's what Yankee's doing now.
Look at the cuts on that topaz. That's light reflecting in different directions off of all those different triangle shapes. Kind of cool, huh? They look good with osmium underneath it.
No way, Emerald. There's no way you're going to see a drastic drop in silver or gold in 2025. There's no way. If it is, it's being seriously manipulated more than normal because I just don't see it either. I just don't think so.
Housing crash, stock market crash would definitely drop those two. And that's coming in 2025. So I actually anticipate platinum could drop to 750, 800-ish.
I think gold could get to 3,000 in 2025. That's going to be one of my predictions on my show. I really believe that. And I think silver could get to, I still think silver, I'm going to miss it this year. I said I thought it would get to 51. And at one time, the way it was going up, it looked like I had a shot at it. But then it stabilized a little bit, went down. I probably will say 51 again next year by the end of December. I really do believe that they're going up.
Well, here's something people need to think about. We will, as a nation, be purging communist countries' businesses out of our stock market. So do your own research on which companies are owned by communist countries, most specifically China. They will be getting slowly or fastly or somehow removed from Wall Street because they are actually Communist Chinese Party entities, not separate businesses, and have no reason to be on our stock market, according to the next administration, and of course me. That's why you should have voted for me in the first place.
Yeah, you would have knocked off $5 trillion off of the.
I have $6 trillion right off the bat with a signature. Cancel all spending from 2026 on. We're going to review it after we do a budget and reanalysis. Then I'd get rid of the Federal Department of Education and the Federal Department of Forest Services. And that inadvertently would grow the Social Security Administration's funds, since the Federal Bureau of Forest Services paychecks are being paid out of Social Security Administration funds ever since 1979. That's why we can all, and no one's asked this question, how can everybody pay in and less people get stuff out and it keep dropping? Do, 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 do. Because they keep tapping into it. That's why I would stop that. And that would end probably 100 of those agencies, because that's how they're getting their funding. So, boom, shrink their government real fast by about 30%, save Social Security. A lot of good things would happen. But you didn't vote for me, so.
Or Emerald keeping their home. People even got it paid off. With the property taxes going up and everything else. I mean, I bet a lot of people are clinging to their home, being able to keep it.
And that's why when you see houses on the market, they keep getting reduced prices, because those are desperate people looking to sell before they actually lose. And they will actually take and go underwater and lose $15,000, $20,000 on a house just to sell it fast, and take that $300,000 house and sell it for $150,000 and take that $25,000 loss rather than the $175,000 loss. And that's where people like who aren't in that position can really take advantage of that kind of stuff.
Mary's got a good question. Is Trump going to make Bitcoin a reserve? No, he's not. Don't believe that.
He's not allowed to. Only. I'm not sure on the laws. I mean, it's a new asset class, so I'm not. But I think there's base laws on money that only Congress can do that. But I have not researched it to fully say with 100% certainty. But right off the top of my head, I don't believe he has the authority. He could start an investigation committee or panel into it, but I don't think he can do it.
It's not going anywhere, because I guarantee you there'll be too many people against it. It ain't going to happen. He did that to get elected. Everybody does. I don't hold it against him. I do think he promised a little bit too much. I would, if I would have been an advisor, I'd have said, hey, you can't promise everything to everybody, because there's no way in 4 years, even though you only sleep 2 hours a night, there's no way you're going to be able to do all that. And I think he puts the VP in a bad position when he runs.
That's why he doesn't have to worry about the health care, because he brought in Kennedy. He doesn't have to worry about security because he brought in that female from Hawaii, not Nikki Haley, that female congresswoman or senator from Hawaii. And he's got so many people leading
Tulsi Gabbard.
Gabbard, yeah. And he's got so many other different people that he's going to turn over different things to that he doesn't have to worry about. He just will listen to their reports, and they're going to take care of those problems because they're in line with his vision. So he doesn't have to focus on all of the stuff. He just has to focus on getting all of the right people in the right positions to do all the right stuff. And you'll be amazed at how fast things can happen. And if you look at former presidencies, never in history has a administration been assembled of other and non-party members all coming together wanting the same thing: reform and smaller government, because it's such a big thing and it can't be denied. You have independents, you have libertarians, you have conservatives, you even have Democrats that are like, yeah, hey, here's some spending we can cut right here, because everyone sees the writing on the freaking wall. We have to cut spending.
You remember when they were going to make Social Security tied in directly to the stock market, and that never went anywhere. And I heard talk they was going to do it. It was as good as done, and it never happened. And I don't think
And it
I don't
should
think
never
it's any
happen.
different with Bitcoin, huh?
And it should never happen.
I think it's a bad idea.
If they quit taking and paying government employees out of the Social Security Administration funds, it would actually, with even at 2%, with the even fewer now after COVID, fewer payments being made, it would actually grow instead of shrink. But people don't realize the reason why it's not shrinking because we have 100 million people out there drawing from it. That's not why it's shrinking. No way, shape, or form. It's shrinking because we have federal agencies who are getting their budgets drawn from the large money that was in there. And it's shrinking because of that. If you stop that, you would have to end a couple agencies, but it would save Social Security. And that number would stop at, oh, there's only 3 trillion in there. Okay, well, at 2% over a year, 3 trillion, that covers 50% of the payments for Social Security. That means we can actually raise the Social Security payments more so than not, and than any other year. And that's what you'd be talking about. Okay, Social Security is getting a 20% raise this year. Next year, oh, this getting another 10%. The year after that, oh, 15% instead of 1.5. And then imagine what your economy would look like. Yeah, there's poor people that are being taken advantage of everybody who pays into the Social Security that are now being told they're not going to get it because we've been paying government employees with that money. So in other words, it's taxation without representation at that point in time. It's tax dollars that we use for a certain purpose that they've reconstituted and they're using to do something else with. It's like, it's not even freaking legal.
Well,
but whatever, it's happening, and you know, that's that. But if I was president, I would definitely have a commission looking into that shit.
Well, also, every time they give a raise to your right hand of an older person with the cost of living clause in there, Reagan, I think, did that. They take it away, and actually more with Medicaid and Medicare and all that stuff. So you really don't get
that's all fabricated too, and could be changed up. It's all regulatory cost and expenditures and unneeded employees doing unneeded jobs for job creation for a bloated government that needs to be cut. And there's where a lot of the cuts come from. You could totally clean up the VA administration by doing exactly that, just to fire the ones you really don't need that are not doing their jobs.
And Mary, also county taxes, city taxes, all that stuff. And it's all ridiculous. I mean, they don't want to cut nothing. They just want to raise your property taxes to pay for it. And it's going to make it impossible for older people to keep their homes in the near future.
No, only from a certain perspective. That exact perspective, because of the individual state taxes, regulations, all this other bullshit I've already explained. That's the reason why I'm going to Alabama, because I did a video on this. A US dollar, no matter what the fuck you want to call it or whatever it is, it only has 88 cents of buying power because of all the state taxes and regulations. So I actually lose 12% of my buying power with as much money as I make out here. If I get a retirement from out here and I take that retirement and stay out here, I'm screwed. But if I go to Alabama, in Alabama, $1 because of non-taxes and non-state regulation actually gets you $1.12 buying power. So if I just from moving by the retirement or early retirement age from California to Alabama, I am going to increase my buying power by 24%. That is freaking awesome. And it just so happens it's the 49th lowest property tax state and cheap housing. Awesome. I just made it third base waiting for the fourth one to hit, so making a home run.
Well, and then Emerald addressed his statement. Yes, Trump will try to fulfill his promises, but he only has 4 years. It's a mess. We need Trump the next 16 years, and we won't. We're only going to have him for 4.
That's future stuff. We'll see what happens. About 50 miles to 100 miles north of the Gulf of Mexico in Alabama, because I don't want to have any hurricane or flooding issues. But I got to be close to the Mobile and Pensacola. So about an hour and a half away from Mobile and Pensacola, Florida, north of them.
And then
in that area.
I don't have a problem with J.D. Vance, but I'm going to go for Eric if Eric Trump decides to run, because it's like getting Donald Trump another 4 to 8 years. So I will be for Eric Trump because he'll do the same thing his father did. He can take the heat because his father did, and he has his father there as a counsel anytime he has a problem. So if Eric will run, that's who I'm going for next time.
The only problem is the Simpsons said 2028 I would lose to Ivanka.
Because Don Jr. don't want it. Don Jr., he's not one.
What's the other girl's name? The other Trump girl?
Ivana.
Okay, yeah. According to the Simpsons, she's going to win 2028 election.
Well, she's a liberal. So, but yeah, I'll be for Eric if he runs, and I think he might. People, I think he's leaning it. I think he's thinking about it.
Okay, let's not talk about the next 8 years. Let's get back to this millennium. Okay, hey, I don't. Oh, you know what? Near Pensacola, I grew up when I was here in America in Pensacola. I grew up in Navy Point, right outside the Navy base in Pensacola, Florida, in Warrington.
Well, one smart move they made that they put Lara Trump in command of the head of the party, and now if there's races that they need no money in, it won't go there. It'll go to the races that maybe that a America First guy can win. So that was a huge move there, and I think that's one reason why they won. I think that had to happen. The other chick that was in there, all she wanted to do is have parties and fancy handbags and all that stuff. You know, like who cares who wins? I want to spend all this money. So I'm glad that she finally got rid of her. I'm a Ron Paul fan. Matter of fact, if I could get my camera to work, I'd show you my shirt. I got a 2012 shirt on right now, Ron Paul for president.
That's when I started running for presidency, is in 2012.
Rand's okay. I like the privacy stuff he talks about. I agree with him on that. I like that he's going after Fauci. I like that. I think Fauci should go to prison, and I think he's going to get a pardon, and he's not going to serve any time at all. And he basically used Americans as lab rats. But that's as far as I'll go, because I don't want to get Neil on a strike. So I'll just say that.
Let's get off of politics. Navy had to win that one, Gerald. It was a given.
Yeah, he's going to get a pardon, Emerald. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
Only in America. The pardon doesn't stand out in Canada or Mexico or Japan or England or France or Italy or West Africa or Australia. So they can still throw him in jail. And since what he did is doesn't end at the border of America, he should still be worried, even if he does get pardoned.
And China owes us a lot of money.
Oh, a shitload.
They caused all that trouble, and I hope Trump takes it out of their AWSs. That's what I hope.
Well, do I stack food? Ben's asking. It's definitions. I grew up around my nana and my grandmother during elementary up to elementary school, either my father's mother or my mother's mother in Scotland. And they always had pantries. And then my mom here in the States, we always had a pantry. So I have, a limited pantry. So is that stacking food? Because that's just how we've always done it. So if people want to call that stacking food, okay, sure. I just call it a pantry. So yeah, I guess I stack food, but it's called a pantry the way I was raised. You have, a couple months worth of food. I don't know how.
I got the 25-year shelf food in the
See,
little
I don't have any of that crap.
metal packets and stuff. Oh, it's pretty good. What I've eaten of it, it's been good. I've tried some of it, and I like the stacked spam.
Spam. I do stack cat food. I have a good 2 to 3 months supply of cat food. I try to keep that on hand at all times, rotating to where I keep that amount.
And also beanie weenies. Great source of protein. And I have frozen venison and frozen what's the bison.
Those are my babies, man. I'll kill a two-legged predator over my four-legged babies. If they're gonna.
And Jeff Bodine, did you see Jeff Bodine's question? He's wanting to know if this pardon by the president it's widespread. It covers.
Yeah, there's no legal termination. The only legal definition is when it is. Hold on a second. There is one technicality that I did a little research on, and there's one technicality that has not been ruled on by the Supreme Court, and it was pardoned when the pardon is finalized or something like that. It started getting into too many legal definitions, and I was like, oh, fuck this. I don't have time to learn new legal definitions for this. But there is one, and it's never been used, but there is one avenue to deny a presidential pardon. Other than that one avenue, there are no avenues, and that one avenue has never been tested. So it would go through the Supreme Court, and seeing who controls the Supreme Court, it is possible that for the first time ever, that avenue would be used. And since they remade laws specifically to go after him, and that's the first time that's ever happened, well, I can see where, it would be the first time it ever happened. And I wouldn't be surprised. So I wouldn't be surprised if they legally went after him. But then again, why would you want to do that when there's so many other things you can do? We can financially bankrupt him and put him in the poorhouse and his family and say, here, there you go, buddy. And that forces him to go to another country where he doesn't have a pardon. Now he's got to worry.
Emerald's got to go. See you, Emerald.
You take care. Thank you for being here, brother.
Well, his son got the pardon, and it was for 10 years. Anything,
you take care, Mary.
Anything that could be considered a crime for the last 10 years. That's what his is. So they can you can make a pardon cover just about anything.
And then again, here's another thing that since people are already talking that Biden is mentally
unfit,
then he's unfit to give pardons. That can be addressed in court for sure. And it could easily be shown that he was mentally unfit. So that means none of those pardons would be finalized, which touches on what I just said. So actually, now that I think about it, it's a good possibility they could be overturned. Not a good possibility. That's the wrong word. There is a pathway that I'm starting to see to where any pardon that he gives here recently, after even the Democrats said he was mentally compromised, at that point in time, those pardons could be overturned because they could state that he was mentally compromised, even his own party stated so at that point in time, and then bring in the evidence, video evidence of them saying that, and use that, and then make him take a mental test, and they'll find out he actually is, and then it would be overturned. That is a pathway for the pardons to be overturned. Whether or not that pathway happens, a lot of other things have to happen for that to happen. So it's just a pathway. Everyone make sure to pray for Carlos. He's going into biopsy tomorrow. He was in the chat earlier.
I understand that Jill's been really nice to Trump. That's what I hear.
Well, she likes wearing red.
Orange, isn't it?
No, red.
I know what you're talking about, Jethro. It's like crazy.
And that's another thing too, Jeffro. It might be too. I don't think he can preemptive pardon, but if he does, then again, obviously there's a pathway to have that overturned.
That's what I want. I want a pardon for the next 50 years. I can do anything I want.
For any and everything. I want a blank pardon. Okay. Yeah, no, that would definitely, I could see a pathway for that to be overturned. So there are pathways for it to be overturned.
Well, basically, you just gave someone the license to kill for the next 50 years. If you gave them
well, see, now Gerald brings up a good thing. They're actually admitting criminality beforehand by saying he would pardon him. Well, what's he pardoning him for? Like, and again, back to Jethro's point, what is he pardoning him for? He hasn't been charged with anything yet. So that's like an admission.
Yeah,
in
that's
advance.
what it is.
You know,
that's saying I know he broke the law, and so I'm covering his butt. Yeah.
You know, that's the way I see it. And again, I just see pathways. I don't come at things from left, right, or center. I see what to me looks semi-obvious that it could happen if no other external forces that I'm not looking at or observing don't interfere with it going down that road and coming up with that conclusion. And I just bring those up. I actually have very, very little to do with the outcome or the road or anything like that. I don't have that kind of power. I see the possibilities of outcomes of things. That's all. So I don't like give predictions. I just, I see the most conclusive outcome and pathway and state that. It's not as fact. It's just I want to make sure people don't think I'm fucking giving out facts. I just see how things could be, and a lot of those pardons could not easily, but there's ways they could be overturned in court. And of course, the fact that they're admitting that he did something wrong by wanting him pardoned before he gets charged is, well, there's legal terminology for that as well. Self-incrimination. There's lots of things going on right now. And it's not really self-incrimination, because who did he ask for the pardon? Then it would be self.
Well, we gave Emerald a bunch of ideas for future shows.
Good. I hope he does well and makes a lot of money on YouTube.
I don't want to make any money on YouTube.
I don't think I'll ever make money on YouTube.
No, I'd be like me shaking the devil's hand. I can't do it.
Pretty much. I do me. I mean, I never anticipated making money. I just wanted to make people aware of what stuff I saw and what I know. What? I think I get it. They wanted me to turn the heater on. That's why they're all meowing. They all came in this room because it's the warmest room. Are you saying another brick hit the wall?
Yeah, I'm about ready to. Daggone it. No, that's the wrong one.
Man, I have that fireplace ablazing.
It's warm there where you're at. Why would you want fire? Cook marshmallows? I love.
Dude, it's 48 degrees outside. What you talking about?
I love
talking about,
marshmallows. I like to catch them on fire and then blow them out and eat them. They're good.
I like it about 85 to 90 in the daytime and about 65 to 70 at night. Anything colder than that, I call it cold.
Matter of fact, that's a good place. A brick wall is a good place to hide stuff. You get one of the loose bricks and you put whatever in there and then cover it up, and you just got to know which one.
Actually, tile is better because you can overset the tile from the groove of the square cut you have to make for the insert, and have a magnetic lock where you just push it. I've seen actually a couple. There's a company out there. They've really got good at taking, like, you can walk up to a wall panel and just push a certain part, and it doesn't even look like there's a seam, and boom, this thing will pop out, and it'll be like a medicine cabinet size wall safe with guns and money or something. And different areas, they have these little different type pop out things, and one of them's behind tile.
But that picture you got there right now, when I somehow that came up on mine, and I didn't do anything to get it. It just came up.
No, those are the two originals. You get those two for free. You got to upload all your other all your other pictures. Those
but I didn't know that. I thought somebody had hacked into my system, and it was somebody else's house, and they were on my computer. That's what I thought it was.
Oh, you thought you were getting a live feed from someone else's house?
Yeah. I said, them son of a guns. They done hacked me, and look at it. They're bragging, but I thought it was somebody maybe that knew me. But I said, I don't know any house that looks like that.
I don't either, but it's a nice house. I would take it, and I'd have that fireplace ablazing. I'd have the TV on top of the fireplace on the mantle, not where it's at. But
I think maybe that's a picture from Dean Martin's house. He used to have.
And I wouldn't have a piano there.
Yeah, it would. Dean Martin I think he could play the piano.
I wouldn't. If it was my house, I would not have a piano there. I'd probably have a couple pinball games back up in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind living. I wouldn't mind. I think what I want to do, I'd like to, if I could ever afford it, I'd like to have a winter home in the Philippines, or I don't know what you call it, a home, probably what's some other terms? A villa, maybe a villa in the Philippines in the winter months, and then be here the rest of the year. That's kind of like what I like to have.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. You're in that. Oh, you didn't say that?
Who?
You.
No.
Man, you think you're going to die already at age 56. How are you going to fucking travel?
I didn't say I was going to die yet.
You sound like it. Oh, I'm old.
Man. Well, I do get
senior citizen brother.
I get senior citizen discounts.
Shit, I got senior citizen and VA discounts. So what?
Yeah, no, you got cats to run after, so that's why you stay. That's why you can eat a whole cake and not gain an ounce.
I got cat scratch fever.
Do.
Cat scratch fever.
Is that your favorite? Is that your favorite Ted Nugent song?
Nope.
I like Free for All. I love that song.
It's a cool song.
So you like the other big one? He really had three monster hits. That Stranglehold. That's what you probably like.
Could be.
some people say they're going to die someday. I say you never got to go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun,
Suspect
dun.
healthcare indeed.
Huh?
Jethro.
No.
Yeah, you go in with pneumonia and come out with a pair of Chinese lungs, huh? Oh, you no longer have pneumonia. You have clean lung now.
But I didn't think you liked music.
I don't. I don't go out of my way to listen to it. I do. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I'll listen to maybe 5 or 6 songs back to back on YouTube, and that'll be it for me. There's a lot. I used to be a pyrotechnician for bands, because pyrotechnician is a different style of the music industry back in the 80s and 90s. I actually had to hook up with most of the rock bands in the southeastern circuit of America, and worked for all of them when they went to the certain shows that allowed pyrotechnics in their house, because a lot of shows didn't allow it. A lot of outside venues allowed it, but inside venues didn't. And I had all those controlled. So any band that came through the area I worked with, Dante Fox, Mad Hatter, a whole bunch of names, Drugan Horde, I worked with a whole shitload of bands. I just wasn't a musician.
Finn, he's retired.
Wasn't a groupie.
He's officially retired from the circuit. He does occasionally appear places, but he doesn't go on tour anymore. He gave it up. Because his birthday is like, I should have wished him a happy birthday, forgot. Mine's the 11th. I think his is the 12th or 13th. I think his is the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
No, I don't know. Well, it was
No, Friday the 13th. Trust me.
It was this time, yeah. And I'm 56. That makes him 70. I think he's 76. I think that's right. I think he's like 20 years. I think he's 20 years on the nose. We're different in age, I think. So I think he turned 76 this year. He gets around really well. He's got a huge farm. Well, you wouldn't call it a farm. I wouldn't call it a ranch. It's a state. He's got a huge bunch of land. And he stocked it with a bunch of African game. And he goes out there. He'd rather bow hunt than shoot. And he hunts almost every day. I don't think he fishes much anymore, but he does hunt almost every day.
Sorry about that. I got this right here for myself for Christmas to see the sky. And then I realized I live in a light pollution area. And this thing won't work for fuck out here.
What is that, telescope?
Yeah, pretty powerful one. It's a 70 millimeter diameter focus, 300 millimeter lens.
You look in other people's houses?
Oh, easily. No, you can see you can see the moon and asteroids, falling stars or comets, whatever. But it's been all kinds of fucking cloudy and rainy ever since I got it. And a meteor shower that was supposed to happen last night, or night before last and last night, it was cloudy. So I didn't have an opportunity to break this bitch out. And that's pretty much why I bought it, is to see it, because it's supposed to be the most colorful asteroid shower of the year.
Nugent also has a target in his basement. Oh, no. Yeah. I think it's his basement in one place. In Michigan, it's his garage, and he shoots in there during his show. America's Voice or something. He's got a show on there, and he will sometimes shoot it down there in the basement. He is good, and so is his wife, Charmaine. She's straight up, dude. She can hit the bullseye just about every freaking time.
She's G Money, yo.
She's G Money, dog, and she's good looking too. She looks a lot younger than her age.
I bet you like Bo Derek.
Bo Derek, I haven't seen her in a while. I did not like her when she was younger. I'll tell you
Probably
why.
a reason for that.
I'll tell you why. The one that looks really good is the one that used to be with Chuck Norris selling that exercise equipment. She looks great. I'm going, man, you look better now than you ever did when you were like 22, 23, 24. Can't think of her name now, but I go, man, she really, because most of the time women don't age well. Men do. I've seen guys that were like ugly mugs when they were younger, and now they look distinguished and more handsome now. So that's one thing good about men. As we age, we get better looking. As women age, they usually fade pretty quick. I can say that now because all the women are gone that were in chat.
So this is like ninja. This is like a Nichols chat with actual chat working.
Linda Carter, I don't think that she looks as good as when she was Wonder Woman. Farrah Fawcett, she's dead. Lonnie Anderson, I never found attractive. I didn't find her attractive on WKRP Cincinnati, and I didn't find her attractive now. The one that was the big hit in the 80s, Cindy Crawford. By the way, she's like a year younger than me, I think. Or maybe a half a year younger than me, and she still looks good. Maybe not as good as when she was young, but pretty close.
What's up, Jackknife?
Oh, Bailey, you know what happened to her? She went nuts in the head. She ended up in an institution for a while. And she's really aged. If you've seen her today, you would go, is that the same person? You would not recognize her today. Farrah Fawcett did not age well. She did not. I didn't think that, I saw her on Letterman and all the shows later, and I don't think she was drunk. I always said she was drunk in some of those interviews. I think that it was from medication. I thought people were very mean to her about that stuff. Now, Marianne, she looked good up to the day she died, I thought. The ginger chick, I haven't seen her in a while. I think she has white hair now, because that's what redheads turn into. They get white hair when they get older. And I think her hair's white. She's okay, but Marianne was better than her when she was young.
On the island, I'd say Marianne.
And the fictional character Cook too, which I like cooking, so she went ahead of the ginger. But I do like redheads. I have to admit, I do find redheads attractive, but. No, if you talk about WKRP in Cincinnati, no, that was a different character on Welcome Back.
I pictured you for more of a Mrs. Howell kind of guy.
No, I like Asians, and I like brunettes, and I like redheads. That's it. I am not a blonde person. Especially if they change their hair color from brunette to blonde, that really is a turnoff for me. Tattoos on a woman, it's a turn off. If they curse like a sailor, it's a turn off. No fight. What do you mean no fight? Jackknife, we know he's up there. If he thought Mrs. Howe is good looking now, we know he's up there. Well, I don't know. Well, if their mother looked good, Jeff Rowe, I'm fine with that.
Jeffrey.
I've never seen anybody look more like their mom than that WNBA player she played college at Stanford. I just looked up some stats for her name today and I can't think of it. Man, her mom, I go, are they sisters? They go, no, that's the mother and her. I go, daggone, I've never seen two people look that much alike. Well, that's your opinion, Jackknife. Oh, women need Geritol. That's what they need. I've seen some Asians that were like 60, even 70. I've seen some and they look 40. I'm going, holy cow. Man, what's their secret for makeup? Whatever it is, they ship that stuff over here to the United States. The women here need it. See, I can get by with that because there's no women in chat. If the women were here, they would be, oh, nickel. Gonna get him. What happened to Neil? Cat got your tongue?
Nope. I'm actually eating some crackers.
I had to do that.
I'm eating crackers, and I didn't want to. I muted myself, so there you go.
I almost smoked a cigar. I haven't smoked a cigar, I think, in over a year, maybe 2 years. And I got the inkling to do it. I almost smoked me a Cuban today.
I haven't smoked a cigar since 1983, and it was at Atlantic Beer and Ice on 3rd Street in Tryon, downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. And it was a billiard and the billiard and what was that? Billiard and cigar club or something like that. They had all kinds of cigars on the 2nd floor.
And they had probably a gambling place in the back room where you could play cards.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, Kirsty Brinkley. That's it. That's the one today looks better than she did when she was 20. Amazing. And she's like, what is she today now? Is she 70? She's got to be upper 80, upper 60, maybe 70. I'm going, man.
Too young for you, Nickel.
Yeah. I'd have a heart attack for sure. Dead. I'll tell you another one's good looking. That Stowe woman that was in that Western with the 4 women. And she was in the movie with Richard Dreyfuss when he was spying on her. Stakeout. She was in Stakeout. Oh, my Lord, she's a good-looking woman. Woo. Golly is plastic. She's had so much surgery, it ain't funny. She had 2 of her ribs removed. I'm pretty sure she had a boob job. She's had surgery on her face. Stretched it so you wouldn't have wrinkles. She's had that. She's wore a wig her whole life. Y'all didn't know that. She wore a wig back when she was, I think, ever since she's been 30. Kelly LeBrock don't look that good anymore. Crackers and cheese.
Yeah, it's actually milk. Uptown Girl.
Charo, she died. Yeah, she used to do that dance or something. Talking about being famous and then losing it overnight. She pretty much did. I mean, she was a sensation in the 70s. That was it. And after that, by the 80s, she was gone. And who's that singer that sings? She's Latina. She's had cancer and survived it. I can't think of her name right now. She sings half her songs in Spanish and the other in English. And she was with the I can't remember. Anyway, she's really good for her age. She's really good looking still. Cher, if she wasn't naked and she coming out everywhere, she's aged fairly well. Nothing between her ears, I don't think. But
and she needs to keep the wig on as well.
Oh man, I think she still goes naked everywhere she goes. And that Fabreras, I think maybe she's died now too. She was on Coach, the woman that played there. I always thought she was cute. And she was a girlfriend of Elvis for a while. Shelley Fairbury.
I Dream of Jeannie lady.
Oh no, she is 90 now. She's 91. She is 91 now. And she don't look bad, but she ain't nothing like when she was younger. She was a Harper Valley PTA woman too. Barbara Eden. That's who that is. Cheryl Teagues. She was big for a while. What's the other one? Thomas, which was Phil Donahue's wife. She was very attractive. She did That Girl. You remember That Girl, the TV show?
Nope. I was going to say Pamela Anderson. I was thinking about that from Baywatch.
Pamela now goes around with no makeup on half the time. And I mean, I'm going, oh my Lord.
Was it because she has no money?
No, I think it's because I guess she don't want people to recognize her. And two, she had all those X-rated personal videos leak and stuff and everything. I think it's changed.
Oh, yeah. That was from her husband, from, what was that? Motley Crue. What's his name?
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? Oh, yeah, that guy.
And Sigourney Weaver, I never found that attractive because she's 8 feet tall. And that's another thing that's turn off. If a woman's like 8 feet tall, I don't,
What about Halle Berry?
Oh, she's little. She was attractive at one time. I don't think she's that big now. She's all right. Cat Girl from the Batman series. Not the first one, but the second one. I thought she was always attractive. Caitlin Clark. It's not. With makeup, she's not bad looking, but she's
Nickel has a picture of hers in a bathing suit on his wall.
well, that's not what attracts you to Caitlin Clark. It's her confidence, her intelligence. She's in basketball. So that's what attracts you to her competitiveness, her success. That's what's attractive for her. It's not her actual looks or anything like that. I never thought Denise Richards was that good looking. Sorry. And I don't think Trump's wife is very attractive. And I'll tell you the truth, I didn't think she was super attractive when she was younger either. So
I heard she didn't think you were attractive either. So I think it's
that's her opinion. But European women I do not find their look attractive. I just don't. Yep, I've seen Starship Troopers, and I'm telling you, she's never done anything for me. Probably because she's blonde.
Starship Troopers, the original, is a pretty good cult classic.
Lizzo.
Following movies were kind of interesting.
Unsubbing from Nickel. Lizzo, let's face the music, she is fat. And she dresses like, I don't know who dresses her up. I don't know if she picks her stuff out or somebody else, but whoever it is, if someone picks it out, she needs to fire them. She's the kind of person that would go on a beach in a thong, and you don't want to see Lizzo in a thong. It's enough to make you not be able to eat the rest of the day, and if you ate beforehand, you're probably going to upchuck it. That's all I can say.
Nickel, you're so negative.
No, I'm truthful. See, the people say that. That's negative. That's negative. No, I'm being truthful. So.
Well, let's see you in a thong on the beach and see what people say.
Well, I ain't going to do it. Because, see, I'm smart enough to know that people's going to say the same thing about me that I said about Lizzo. So I'm not going to do that. So. Oh, Lord, Jackknife, he's loving it. Well, better that she roll her eyes than anything else, because if she gets a rolling, I'm going to be smashed I'll be like a rug. Clue, the girl from Clue.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, I remember the movie. Who was the woman in that? Was that Sigourney Weaver? Marilyn Collins, I thought was attractive. And she had a sense of humor and she was funny. So that's why it would attract you to her.
Yeah, Diz was hot in Starship Trooper.
I don't remember that. Who was the actor that played Diz?
Brunette, curly brown hair. That was a tough guy girl.
Oh, well, Demi Moore at one time was fairly attractive. Today, no. But she was in her prime, not bad looking. But who's the one that won the Miss America, and then they took the title away, and she was in Eraser, and she sings. Daggone it! Now she is unbelievable attractive. Still is attractive, and man, nobody wore jeans as well as she did. That's all I can say. So you know where my eyes went, and I went, "Woo!" Feel the back of that out. Woo!
It's kind of hard to picture where your eyes would be there.
Yeah, Vanessa Williams. I still think she's attractive. Delta Burke, when she didn't have the weight, she was a knockout. But let's face it, she let the weight gain catch her, and so nope, I didn't find her all that attractive.
What about
the one in Ghostbusters? What was her name that played the secretary in Ghostbusters? I always thought. Maybe it's the way she talked. I always thought she was cute. and she was on Magnum PI a couple episodes. She played a character on there. And
Finn.
she was on Designing Women. I thought she was attractive.
What about the Hart sisters?
Hart sisters. I don't remember
And
Hart.
Nancy Wilson.
No, I wasn't too big on them. The original Nancy Drew was cute.
How about Stevie Nicks?
Stevie Nicks, I think is fairly attractive. Yeah. Yeah. I thought Marilyn Monroe was attractive. And the one that was her counterpart that died in the wreck, and her daughter's on Law and Order SUV, I thought that she was more attractive. I really thought she was very attractive. I mean, really, but she was wild. She was wild in her personal life, though. So, I got your number. What's that mean? Atlanta Miles. The singer?
No
I
clue.
think that's who he's talking about. I never found her attractive because her eyes were kind of mean looking. Let me look up Atlanta Miles. Yeah, that's the singer that sang Black Velvet. No, she's got a mean eye look. Vera Miles was pretty good looking.
Well, since you're bringing up lady rockers, how about Pat Benatar?
Yeah, Jane. It's Jane Mansfield. Yes. Very attractive. Very, 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 very attractive. Matter of fact, I think she made Marilyn Monroe look average. Brooke Shields was attractive when she shaved her unibrow. You didn't know this. When she started out in Hollywood, she had a unibrow all the way across. And then somebody, probably an agent or something, told her, said, you'd do better if you shaved that in between. And then when she got that removed, she actually was somewhat attractive. But if you watch her on, what's the first movie with the guy and they run around naked on the island? What's that called? She has a unibrow in that movie. And if you go back and look, you'll see it. And I go, what is attractive about that? I don't want a woman that has a unibrow.
Blue Lagoon, I think.
Yeah, Blue Lagoon. Yep. Brittany Murphy was cute. She was cute. I think she got killed. They're trying to link her death to P. Diddy. And she died, and then 2 weeks later, the guy she was with, I don't know if they were married or engaged, he dies of the same thing. And they have links to P. Diddy. So they think P. Diddy was behind those two getting killed. Just about everybody around P. Diddy when he started, just about everyone. I think only 2 people are still alive from his original company or associates of him. Everybody else has died.
Sounds like he went to the Hillary School of Politics.
How you like them, brunette, thin, pale, pinched voice? I don't know, Gerald. You're going to have to give me some names and I'll tell you. But I don't know who is that. Well, Jeff Rowe, if I looked into all this, and his head of security, P. Diddy, was the head of security for Michael Jackson. So now they're linking him to the Michael Jackson death. And you say, well, why would P. Diddy want to kill Michael Jackson? Well, he could take over his his space in the music industry. So yeah, it actually would be a slight motive to have Michael Jackson knocked off.
That's one way to look at it.
Madonna, she was actually somewhat attractive when she was younger. But man, I've never seen, she looks like an alien now. I've just never seen anything like it. You know, sometimes you have surgery and it's for bad, man. It don't improve you. She looks like a different person now.
Kind of like Michael Jackson.
Well, Michael Jackson was like plastic.
Well,
His sister,
surgery made him look like a different person.
well, his younger sister,
Janet?
Janet, was cute as cute could be when she was a kid. And then soon she turned old enough, like I guess 21, she had all that surgery. And then I'm going, man, what a waste. Because she was very attractive when she was younger. Fran Drescher, I couldn't stand her. Did not think she was attractive. And I didn't like that voice. Like on The Nanny. I couldn't stand that. I couldn't watch that show because of how she talked.
I'm sure they forgave you.
Yeah, she's a cartoon now. Man, she's like Alien now, man. I ain't lying. They could put her in a science fiction movie and she could have a new career. Zombies. You've seen what they look like. They look better than she does.
Never actually seen a zombie.
Yeah. On
Seen him,
Return of the Living
illustrated
Dead and
I've seen him illustrated on TV. I've never seen a real zombie. And all the dead bodies, human bodies I've seen, no matter what condition, they never came back to life.
Priscilla Presley was not bad looking. Her daughter, I never thought was that attractive. Christina Ricci's okay. Downtown San Francisco, a lot of zombies. Probably. They look like zombies, and then you have to give them any makeup to do it. Julie Brown, never thought was attractive. Never thought that. Nope.
Never, ever, 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 ever. Never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, ever.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. I like that song. Belinda Carlisle is okay. I'll tell you one that was just absolutely smoking hot. Was one of the members of the not the Go-Go's. It was the other group at that time was competing against them. Daggone it! They sung in Lesson Zero, Shade of Winter. She's Jewish. Gosh darn it!
The Bengals.
Yes. Oh my Lord, that little brunette. Oh my Lord. She lives in Israel now. Got married and lives in Israel now. But man, was she attractive. She was super duper attractive.
Well, we know what type Nickel likes.
Oh, Susanna Hoff? Yeah. It's the Bengals, not the Bengals. The Bengals are the football team.
And a tiger.
Belinda Carlisle's okay. She's okay. I mean, she's not ugly. I thought the ABBA girls were attractive. I always thought they were attractive.
All right, well, I'm going to end this because I got some things I got to do for a good bit.
Neil gets sick of this. Well, who else is there the name? He's going, y'all named everybody in the alphabet, women. Everybody's ever been in Hollywood. Okay, country singers. Janie Fricky.
Nope. We're
I
calling it a night.
I thought she was attractive.
Everybody have a good evening.
Neil is showing his age. He's dodging out on us.
Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Buy some silver, some platinum, and crystallized osmium.
Well,
And
before you go, let me make another announcement.
Have a great week in advance. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Next, Ask Nickel Anything. We will cover the rest of the women we didn't cover tonight. Just so show up to that.
Oh, wow. That's not going to be like a lot of known.
and show up for that. And Ari Gray. Oh my Lord. Was she attractive? I mean, man. And the girl